Yo, what up, y'all? It is your boy Game Time Ty. I see the chat popping off. How you doing, Zoothis? How you doing, Nico Dobbs? The music of Ty's lives is so iconic. I know all of them by now. Dude, that's hilarious, dude. I love it. You're jamming? Dude, nice. Yeah, I actually used to play the trumpet. A little fun fact. I used to play the trumpet back in the day. So that's a random one. But what's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Jesus. This whole last week has been a blur, man. It's been a long weekend, a long day at work. That's why we're getting started late today. Just, meetings on meetings, and then back up after, follow-up meetings. And then, I don't want to bore you guys, but we're here now. And, man, tons of news. Tons of freaking news, man. Let's see. Why is everybody getting injured? Oh, dude, that's pretty much what all the news is. It sucks that we have to talk about injuries like this, and so it's not even preseason, or it's not even season yet, which is obviously the saddest part about it. But we're gonna get into it, and a lot of groins as well. That's true. As long as you don't play the flute, respect. Yo, what you got against the jazz flute, man? Jazz flute's pretty nice instrument if you get the right, swag going with it. You got to have swag for sure to play the jazz flute, no doubt. But there's a guy named Ron Burgundy, I believe, who used to play the jazz flute. Definitely a legend for sure. So, much respect to folks who can emulate that. Injuries substation is getting worse. Or is getting the whole league. Yeah, bro. I mean, we should look into. I know there are several other fields that are close to substations, or at least close to like electrical situations. So maybe that is something that we need to look into. And I know the turf thing for sure is something that I think the league should have already outlawed by now. Like there's so many injuries that you could directly correlate to AstroTurf, right? And anyways, 49ers player is touching more teams now. Yeah, true. I'm cooking dinner. Can someone send me a text when the draft reorder is happening? Oh, nice. Okay. I mean, if you have your notifications set up on Discord, which might be actually, now that I think about it, a little annoying because we do have chat going off in the Discord. So I think you can select one channel specifically to have notifications, or you can mute other channels. Not sure how you want to do it, but yeah. Nice. Okay, Zoothis got you. Hell yeah. All right, cool. Well, welcome. We got a lot of news. Rasha actually texted me earlier with a bunch of headlines. He was like, yo, bro, let's take a look. Ty with the hat on today. Exactly, man. Hey, when you mentioned it last time, I was like, you know what? That'll probably be the last time I stream without a hat. You made me so self-conscious. No, I'm just kidding. That day I had to, let my hair air dry because I had literally just washed it. But let's get right into the news, man. Shit. So right off the bat, I guess the big ones are we're getting a second opinion on, I want to say Emeka Egbuka, right? Let's see if there's anything here. All right, we're just going to go through the actual top 20 list from Yahoo. Hey, what's up, Rasha? How you doing, bro? Welcome in. We were just talking about all the news you sent me here. Let me actually just look through your shit. All right, so Neighbors team drills with non-contact jersey. Okay, that's good. Kraft hopes to avoid a snap count. That's huge. CMC still dealing with tightness. That's going to be a big one for sure. Turf toe for Egbuka, right? That's a big one. Mike Evans left practice with an ice pack on his ankle and then moved it to his quad. That's definitely going to be a one we're probably going to take a look at in a sec. Manungai could miss opener with a knee. That was probably one of my biggest disappointments. Obviously, a lot of these are some decently big names, but Manungai was somebody who I was kind of eyeing as a mid to late round nice stash as a depth piece. He could definitely have gone on to have a pretty big year this year. I mean, he still can, but now he's just going to be a little slow to start. So that'll definitely reduce his draft price. Parker Washington, undisclosed, should return next week. Okay, maybe that's some family thing. Devontae Smith is back. Okay, Lemon is seen sprinting. Okay, that's good for Mekhi Lemon. And then, oh, dude, I heard Tyler Biadasz is out with a serious injury, dude. The center for the Chargers. That's right. That's pretty fucked up. And then Metcalf or Pittman are both not practicing this week, undisclosed. Oh shit, and Quentin Johnson left limping, dude. Jesus, that's crazy. Dude, that's a lot of shit. Oh man, you drafted Igbuka in the league. Now you're worried your backup is Christian Watson and Josh Downs or Debo. Not sure who to pick. Well, definitely probably not Josh Downs at this point, because I think he's someone we're going to see on this list. But let's just go through it. So number 20, DJ Moore. DJ Moore suffered an ankle injury in the preseason opener, but it appears not as serious. The Bills are relying on him to be a true number one for Josh Allen. So yeah, I'm monitoring this for sure, but this is something that I'm not super worried about. I would still be confident in drafting DJ Moore where I've been picking him up, which is about like the 3rd or 4th round. And then Daniel Jones, interesting. So Jones ranks low because all signs point to him being ready for week 1, but his return from a torn Achilles and how effective he is early on in the season is huge for a Colts team that was rolling last season before Jones was injured. And obviously this means just like everybody around him too. So if Jones can look maybe 60 to 70% of where he was last year, because he looked good last year. We got to remember how good Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, looked before he got hurt. He was having this team running on all cylinders, right? Firing on all cylinders. So Tyler Warren is going to be a big person that I'm picking up, right? I mean, obviously top 4 tight ends aside, Tyler Warren kind of is the one exception there for me. And we've talked about this. But yeah, they all stink. Just quit the league. Bro, that's hilarious. But if Stribling is still available, grab him. Yeah. Oh, dude, he's available? Dude, holy shit. Yeah, go grab that guy. Wow. Yeah, good call. Good call, Walt. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm surprised he's there. In drafts now, he's like we saw him go in like the 12th round, I want to say, in our league. And then I've definitely seen him continue to rise. I want to say he's probably like around the 10th round at this point. Let's see. I'll just take a look. No, he's still on Fantasy Pros. He's still ranked down in like the back end of the draft. But yeah, nah, that's in practice. That's not actually going to happen. Like in reality, that's not going to happen. Okay, so while saying he looked great against the Chargers today, enjoying practice. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. That's good. I think, wasn't he dealing with like some weird tightness of something, or maybe I'm conflating him with like Mike Evans or some shit. You drop Downs for Stribling, done? Nice. Hell yeah, good move, good move. Let's actually look at Josh Downs' news just so you can feel good about the decision that you made, right? So he got the green light to practice 3 days ago, but then he exits with a possible upper body injury? No. Maybe that was after? Here, let's see. This is from an hour ago. So Keenan Allen's reunion with Shane Steichen in Indianapolis threatens Josh Downs' role. Okay, so it's not just the fact that Josh Downs could be a little hobbled potentially. If not, hold on. She always does this right at the beginning of streams, man. She always has to be like, Dad, why aren't you paying attention to me all of a sudden? We were just playing. Now you're talking to your computer friends again. Here, she's going to say hi. Hey, y'all. Okay. All right, she's going to chill on my lap while we do this. Kitty Biscuits. Hey, Zuthis already knows. What's up? Yo, what's up, Mr. Midnight? Yo, how you doing, bro? Welcome in, man. Welcome back. It's been a minute. Good to see you, man. Happy to see you, man. Yeah. I don't know if you remember this, but you're technically still in our viewer league, and we're about to reshuffle the draft order today during today's stream. So you'll probably get, if you checked in already and you probably saw your draft order, we're about to shuffle that. Apologies in advance, but yeah, no, it's been a minute for sure, dude. Happy to see you, man, as well. And yeah, we're just crushing this news before we probably get into a couple mocks, and then maybe some other, I don't know, we'll probably watch some highlights or some shit. I definitely want to watch some film. Hell yeah, bro. All right, cool. Well, yeah, so to finish the Josh Downs thing, like maybe if he's not super duper injured, right? He's coming off an injury. He's clearly gotten the green light to practice. Doesn't matter. They still brought in a guy named Keenan Allen, who it's a reunion with their offensive coordinator, or maybe it's their coach, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, there's a reunion there. And Josh Downs is someone who maybe made his bones in sort of the field stretcher type role. Also, we've seen him get some decent, we'll just say volume with heavy air quotes because it wasn't consistent. But he's someone who's going at the wide receiver 37. People are high on him, right? And, you know, when I say it wasn't consistent, it was stuff like this. He would have a game randomly where he'd have 9 targets, catch 6 of them for 57 yards and a touchdown, and follow it up with a game with 2 targets, 1 catch, 3 yards, right? And it's inexplicable. It's a soft matchup against Atlanta. There's no way, you know what I mean, you can trust someone like that, right? The only reason why I feel like people are looking at Josh Downs at all as someone who they like and want to target is because, again, we've seen with volume, he does have good efficiency, right? Or I won't call it efficiency. I'll just say decent production. He clearly has the ability to get into the end zone, right? He went 3 straight weeks, or we'll call it 3 out of 4 weeks, and he did miss a game in between here. I actually don't know whether that was to injury or what. That's the one game he missed last year. But 3 out of those 4 weeks, he had a touchdown in each of those games, right? One of those games, he only caught 3 passes for 39 yards, but he did get a touchdown, which saved you. So, again, like, I know a lot of this maybe was without Daniel Jones, and this team looked better, obviously, with Daniel Jones as the center, you know, as the quarterback under center. But I still am hesitant to buy in fully on Josh Downs, especially where he's going. Like, you're picking him up over guys like, at least he's ranked clearly right now, over guys like Wan'Dale Robinson, Michael Wilson, which I just don't believe in at all. I think Michael Wilson should be far above that. Quentin Johnston, if he didn't go down today, I probably would have easily picked him up. Jordan Tyson, same situation, over Josh Downs. So, like, you know, I think it makes sense to drop a Josh Downs, pick up Stribling. That was absolutely the move there. You have Jalen Coker available too. Would you trade Christian Watson or Debo for Coker? Watson will probably miss his usual 6 to 7 games. That's true. I'm not a huge believer in Watson. I will say this. They are high on Watson this year, right? The Packers actually are all in on Watson. This is the year to get Watson if you think he's going to do anything, right? Like, all the stuff we've seen from him in the past, it's all coming down to this year, right? To truly prove it. So let's see. He's shown last year, right, that let's just say 50% of the time he's getting in the end zone, right? So 4 out of the last 7 games, he had a touchdown. And in 2 of those games, he had 2 touchdowns. So clearly, this is someone who has a nose for the end zone, actually is definitely a burner. But as Walt's pointing out, I mean, he missed the first half of the year last year. I think he was coming off like an ankle injury or something like that, some surgery. I forget, to be honest, specifically what it was. But I don't think he's played a full season in his entire career. He's missed at least 2 games in each season, and at most it's been like 7, right? Or 8. He only played 9 games in 2023. So you're talking about a guy who clearly, when he's good, he's good. He definitely has a good ceiling, but like, I think it's just the risk sure is baked into his ADP. You just got to hope that this year he just stays playing and he just balls out of control, because clearly when he's decent, like, he's good. He's definitely like wide receiver 3. You know, if he was more consistent, right? Even when he's playing, there's some of these games that you're like, oof, you know, 5 targets, 3 catches, only 29 yards. You know what I mean? 3.7 fantasy points against Chicago, right? Week 16. That's fantasy semifinals. That you know, as your wide receiver 3 that you're counting on to put up some numbers, that's going to be a little painful, right? So 2 out of the 3 weeks of the playoffs, he's not even really reliable. That's going to be problematic. So I know this is last year. Again, he was coming off an injury. Maybe that was part of why he wasn't as consistent. And this team also was like really run heavy. I know that much. So also, it's at Chicago in December. So, you know, it's a weather game technically. So that's also going to be why he got 6 targets, only caught 2 passes, right? So yeah. Yo, what's up, Zuthez? You're the 8th pick in one of your leagues. Who should you get? Nice. I like that. Is it PPR, half PPR? You got a hot dog and some sweet and spicy chili Doritos. Hell yeah, nice. You got the crunch. I love that, man. I love eating like a burger or like really anything like a sandwich, but I gotta have some chips. You know, not like, I mean, fries are good too, but I like the crunch of a chip. You know, so that's clutch. Yeah, look, yeah, each year he hasn't. Yeah, you're right. Do you think his ADP is worth the risk? You know, that's a good question. I think it really just depends on what my team looks like. If I already have, let's just say, 3 solid wide receivers where Christian Watson is going to be someone who's just like kind of a flex guy, if anything, and I can easily plug and play someone over him if he like does miss time. I don't want to have Christian Watson as like my wide receiver 2, for instance, where if he goes down and misses time, I'm in trouble. Right? That's even as a wide receiver 3, I feel like that's running the risk. So, but where he's going, I mean, you got to go wide receiver heavy early on, because if we see, you know, we're looking here at wide receiver 28, that's 56 pick overall. We're talking like round 6. So that means you've already picked 3 wide receivers up, and this is your 4th one going into the 6th round or coming out of the 6th round, right? So not a lot of people do that. And, you know, maybe I like to kind of lean heavily on the wide receivers. I definitely could see myself doing that. But again, we're looking at the landscape around Christian Watson. Would I rather pick up, like if I'm looking at JMO or Christian Watson, I think I'm picking up JMO there as my wide receiver 3 or 4, right? If I'm looking at guys even down here, Parker Washington, we should look at what his news story is, because if there's any issues there with his health, then this might change my opinion on him for sure. But like, I would definitely pick him up over Christian Watson, as crazy as that sounds. So maybe I draw the line down here, like near Marvin Harrison Jr. But honestly, even then, I might be leaning Marvin Harrison Jr. over Christian Watson, as crazy as that sounds, right? So, you know, take that for what it is. Some people might not agree. You know, that might be pushing it, right? But MHJ, I actually want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I know it's easy to make jokes and laugh at his drops in camp and stuff like that, but we got to remember, this is all where you get that shit out of your system. Now, sure, the track record shows, you know, he's wildly inconsistent and definitely has had an issue with drops, but it also shows that when he's good and he's on the same page with his quarterback, and this time this year it'll be Jacoby Brissett, which I think it was the case for most of last year as well, you know, he looks really good. He looks really good with volume. And he definitely is someone who is could be a reliable end zone type of threat, right? So, yeah, Michael Wilson or MHA. I would say, damn, that's a good one, Zuthis. And I know they're on the same team. So, obviously, it's like you're betting on one or the other to kind of be the better of the two. If I had to sit down and really pull the trigger on one or the other, I think with Marvin Harrison's draft price, because if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Mike Wilson is going a little bit higher than him, unless he's not. Where is Mike Wilson going? Fuck. Wow. Okay, so actually no, it's the reverse. So people are actually picking up MHJ over Michael Wilson by like a round and a half. It looks like almost 2 rounds. So yes, Michael Wilson, if we want to look at his stats, late down the year, to your point, Brissett clearly was honing in on Mike Wilson. Is this what we see? I 18 targets, 15 catches for 185 yards. I mean, that's crazy. That's literally insane. I don't know if we're going to see that type of volume, but you know, he did average, like, if we're doing the math here, 10 plus targets over this stretch over the course of the last 8 weeks of the year, plus almost. So yeah, there's obviously a lot of continuity there. There's obviously a lot of momentum, you could call it. And if this is what we see, then yeah, you're getting a steal with Mike Wilson down here 2.5 rounds later, almost around maybe 2.5 rounds. I don't know if Mike Wilson's going to stay down here. I actually wouldn't be surprised if people are reaching for Mike Wilson because of what they saw him do. So, but either way, you're probably talking about a round difference. I would lean Mike Wilson, to be honest. I think the right answer is to just go with Mike Wilson. He'll probably be more reliable. Sure, maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. will have some ceiling games like we've seen him do, but like even his ceiling games, like Mike Wilson, it's just not even close, man. Like, I think Mike Wilson's ceiling last year was double what MHJ's was. So I lost Mike Wilson. There he is. Ceiling 33.5 points, or sorry, 37.2, whereas MHJ only hit 22.6. That was his ceiling, right? So like close to 40, mid 20s, or late 20s, or early 20s, low 20s. I'm talking about age. What am I talking about? I'm taking the higher ceiling and the more consistent player in the later round. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, this is just basing it mostly on what we saw last year. Obviously, I think this year again it'll probably be a little more even with the target share, but still, again, yeah, that's obviously a lot to do with MHJ just missing time last year too. So a lot of those games that Mike Wilson popped off, MHJ wasn't playing. So that's also something you got to take into account. But what else with this news? Jacoby Brissett, Brian Brees, okay, defensive tackle. Seahawks, Charbot. The reigning Super Bowl champs lost Kenneth Walker. They did. Okay, head coach McDonald said that they're optimistic about Charbot as he recovers from his ACL surgery. And apparently he has a shot to play in week 1. That's crazy. They drafted Jadarian Price in the first round. And, wow, I didn't think I could actually do that. Fuck. So, yeah. So, I think... Damn, where did that shit go? Okay, well... Whatever. We didn't need that anyways. So, let's actually go back to NFL news. Here we go. All right, yeah, so I think this really just tells me that maybe they just don't want, and this is already really the plan anyways, and it's similar to Jeremiah Love, which is ironic because they played on the same team in college, but I really think that it's just a matter of keeping their young guy fresh. They don't want to batter him into a wall, right? And basically like use up all his youthfulness and juice early on in the year, just trying to get him, acclimated and give him like volume, right? So even late in the year, there'll probably still be even more so of a split between Jadarian Price and Charbot. So that's just something you got to like factor into Price's price, is that Charbot is now kind of ahead of schedule. I was kind of projecting Charbot to be back maybe around like week 4, or, week 3, week 4. So you at least as a Charbot or a Jadarian Price drafter had like a couple weeks of just Jadarian Price essentially with the backfield all to his own. Now it looks like Charbot's going to be there a little sooner. Does that decrease how I draft? Does that impact at all how I draft Jadarian Price? Right now, actually, it's showing his draft capital, his draft price here at like round 7, round 8 almost. I've been seeing him go towards like round 6, round 7, even like maybe even round 5. I want to say one time that might be a reach, but like this doesn't feel like his actual draft price. And so if I'm factoring in what I've seen, where I've seen him go, I probably would still be willing to take him in the sixth round. Maybe it drops a little bit like to the 7th round, but we're talking about around guys like, I don't know, Achan Jr., Scadaboo, right? So you're probably waiting a little bit on Price. Maybe DeAndre Swift is where you start having that conversation. Bucky Irving. I know some people are high on Bucky. I know Rashi, you're high on Bucky. Would you pick up Price over Bucky? I don't think you would, but that's the conversation maybe I'm having. David Montgomery, that's probably where I draw the line. I don't believe in really Trayvon Henderson as much. I'm not like a huge Bashal Tootin guy, even though like sure he could outperform my expectations. But Price is someone who I would pick up over both of those guys. Again, I probably draw the line right at David Montgomery, right? Jeremiah Love injury sucks. Head coach trying to get fired. Way overused for a preseason game. Dude, that's actually true. That's pretty crazy. And I was actually a little surprised to see that because it doesn't seem like something a Sean McVay coaching tree coach would do, right? Like you don't see him taking risks with his talented guys in preseason action. So I'm not sure, maybe this was like a situation where the coach is just a little inexperienced, right, as a head coach. And so there may have been a case where, hey, what's up, Mystical Cade? Appreciate the follow, bro. Could be a situation where the player himself, right, Jeremiah Love, went up to the coach in the middle of the game, or at some point in the game, and was like, "Hey, man, I want to keep playing. Like, I know you're trying to pull off all the starters and shit, but like, I want to keep going." You know what I mean? And so maybe that was part of the decision. I don't want to put all the blame on the coach. I mean, it is the coach's fault. Even if the player asks to play, you should know better and take your player out after 14 carries in the preseason. It's just pushing it, right? 100% price over Bucky. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, I think that's a fair line to draw. But I could see people going either way. Why is Henderson above Stevenson? Because as we saw down the stretch last year, it did kind of transition to Henderson's backfield, right? That said, I think it was largely because Ramondre Stevenson maybe was coming off an injury. That said, Ramondre looked pretty good down the stretch last year. Now that I'm looking at his numbers, like, this is crazy. 17.8 fantasy points in week 16, 27.2 fantasy points in week 17. And that's only off 8 carries in each of those games. But he was able to get 47 yards, 51 yards, a touchdown in each of those games on the ground. Even had 5 targets, 5 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown through the air in week 17. So, like, I don't know. Ramondre just got it done. And this is on top of, I want to say, Travion Henderson having a pretty good week that week too, maybe? No, actually, he had 19 carries for 82 yards. That was it. Didn't get the touchdown, and actually didn't even get any passing work. Had 0 targets, and only 1 the previous week. So, I don't know. That's actually a good question, because Ramondre is only 28. I mean, yeah, he's getting up there, but like, still probably has like some decent juice left in the tank. And unless he goes down, like, I don't see Travion Henderson really maybe being, that guy in this offense, right? His best weeks were when were when Ramondre was out. So, sure, maybe there's something to say of like, hey, he proved himself, and maybe they'll want to give him more usage because of that. I don't know. That's kind of why I'm a little bit just off of Travion Henderson. I'm kind of off of both those guys. I could see Ramondre being like an early years value pick, and kind of like getting you through maybe some of the tough weeks with like a stasher or something, like maybe a Jadarian Price who takes a little, or Jeremiah Love who, takes a little bit of time to get going. But then, I mean, neither of those guys are stashers, but like, you know what I mean? Like, Ramondre is someone who could easily slot in the early part of the year, while some of those other guys who will be probably more valuable later on get going. And Rasha is in the league. But are you talking about the viewer league or the $20 league? Because I know Rasha's in the viewer league for sure. And okay, so this is saying that Stevenson will be the lead back. At least that's what they're saying. He looked good at practice. Nice. While saying it won't last because Stevenson will fumble 4 times in the first game and get benched. Yeah, I mean, I know he does have like kind of a fumble issue. Let's see, where are the fumbles? I don't know why it's not showing his fumbles, but let's see. Ramondre fumbles 2025. He had 3 fumbles during the 2025 season, so that's actually not too bad. But maybe he gets that in 1 game this year. We'll see. Do you think I should trade my Ashton Genty for Brock Bowers and Kyron Williams? Whoa, yeah, definitely. Damn, you're gonna get both of those guys, dude. 100%. Dude. If that's an offer in your inbox right now, that's a trade literally pending. Mash accept. Just slam that shit. I would literally. Oh my gosh. Yeah. While saying if it's available, take that trade and run. Definitely. Oh, it's a dynasty league though. Oh, okay. That actually changes some things. That actually does change some things. It depends, because what you're getting out of that is a elite tight end. You're giving up an elite running back, right? Walt's right. I probably would still do it, and I'm trying to convince myself how, because Kyron Williams, let's be honest, he's not elite or anything like that. He's just on an excellent system, and he's great. He's probably like definitely well above average in terms of talent and production level in the NFL, right, as a running back. But when you're talking about like true talent, there's a lot of other guys who are clearly way more talented in terms of, we're talking about the Bijans, the Jahmyr Gibbs, like, right? That's a whole nother caliber of players. And I think Ashton Genty will be talked about in that caliber of player at any point in his career, at some point in his career, right? Just maybe not now, because just the team's that bad. We could see it this year. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm hesitant to go all in on Ashton Genty this year, right? So in redraft, I'm like fading him, at least unless he slides to me a little bit. So my short-term projection on Ashton Genty is not great. So you'll probably have a nice run this year, man. Like in your Dynasty League, you make that trade right now. The Genty owners looking in the future. You got Brock Bowers, you got Kyron Williams. Like, Kyron's going to be great this year. Brock Bowers should be awesome too. So, like, clearly, I think you have the better end of that deal in the short term. Now, it really just depends on how long Kyron can stay relevant, right? He's 25 years old. He can probably go for another 2 to 3 years, right? Yeah, Williams is 25 years old and Bowers is 23. Right, and you will never trust the Raiders to build an O-line. Yeah, no, I mean, if Matt was in here, he would be like plus one-ing that completely, because it's true. The Raiders are kind of just the little bros in that division, and unfortunately, they haven't shown, at least in recent years, that they're capable of really building like all of the pieces for a successful offense. But we'll see. They got a fire center now. Interesting. Okay, well, hey, that's a good step. So they're moving in the right direction, right? But I still think in the short term, and even maybe over the course of like 3 to 4 years, even like Kyron Williams, I would give him again 3, maybe 4 good more years, right? 2 like prime years, and that's really just going to come down to what the Rams look like, and if he's still on the Rams in 3 years, right? So yeah, that I like the deal. I still would take it. I'm with Walt. Yeah, smash accept. True, but he can't play the other 4 positions. Yeah, it doesn't matter how good your center are, how good your center is. You still got other linemen in the mix that, are liabilities. Okay, cool. I like that. That's a good trade, though. Honestly, I might just need to start a Dynasty League, man. Like, I feel like Dynasty Leagues are so fun with the trading and just like the long-term investment attitude of it all, right? It's just a different vibe than a redraft, So maybe I don't know if it's going to be this year, but definitely I want to get a Dynasty League going like in the next year or so. You know what I mean? I'll have to do that. Oh, yeah, Zuthis, you down? All right, hell yeah, bro. All right, so Monangai, we kind of talked about it. He suffered a knee injury. I think it was hyperextended in practice, and is technically week to week. And so we'll see if Monangai. Let's actually look at this a little bit more, because let's see, expected to miss multiple weeks after suffering a hyperextended knee during practice. So let's see, he's week to week. But he's expected. How are you week to week? But you're expected to miss multiple weeks. Oh, Walt's down too. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, shit. We might have to do that earlier rather than later. But we'll talk about that at some other point. No, but this is crazy. How are you going to call a guy week to week and then say he's going to at least miss multiple weeks? So I don't know. That seems like a contradiction to me. But then again, I know all of this terminology is very specific and maybe vague on purpose. So, I think that just, again, makes me a little nervous to go all in on Kyle Monangai. Like I said, I was someone who was higher on him than maybe he was being drafted at. Like, I definitely would have picked up Monangai over guys like J.K. Dobbins, over guys like Kenneth Gainwell for sure, right? Jonathan Brooks has been soaring up people's draft boards as well, so I don't even think he's going to be down here when all is said and done. Oh, nice. Nico, hell yeah, bro. Okay, cool. We got some folks. And I know Matt will be down, and shit, that's like 5 to 6 people right there. So we already got a league going almost. But yeah, no, Chuba Hubbard, right, is someone who I think I would probably still, as crazy as that sounds, would have drafted Kyle Monangai over, right? So it's just, this hurts his draft capital a little bit, and I'm kind of not mad at it because, yeah, Swift does have huge value now. I think he already was being looked at as someone. Let's see, where is he going? Yeah, up here in like the 6th round. So as the RB20. So people were already kind of high on Swift, and for good reason. Last year he finished as the RB15 and pretty solid year. Only had like, let's see, 3 games under 10 fantasy points in the fantasy like relevant games, I guess you could call it. Maybe 4 actually, but no, super solid performance. I mean, you know, to finish as the RB15, like you got to be consistent, and it wasn't even like he was getting touchdowns every single week. His touchdown rate was not bad. You know, it's almost every other week, but it was really just like volume and like he hit 100 rushing yards 3 times and like got over 80 another 3 times. So like, you know, just solid production. And the Bears have a great offensive line. They're a team that's trying to score points this year. I think their coach literally said something about like he's going to break records. They're like out to break a shit ton of records this year. So, I mean, that translates to fantasy value clearly. And like, so guys like DeAndre Swift, Monangai, who's someone who I was looking at as probably going to be their like short yardage running back, and still do. I still view him that way. But again, he just takes a little bit of a hit in terms of his value. But, you know, with the injury. But like, honestly, I wouldn't be mad at taking Swift where he's going. Let's see. I should have looked, but Swift is 27 years old. Okay, so he's like, you know, right around the age where this is still prime years for him, right? He's not on the downturn yet. I think he's still got like a peak year left in him. And last year really was like, yeah, I guess he's been running back 15 overall one other time. And that was his second year in the league in Detroit, 2021. And it was really just mostly his passing work, actually. So if he can get back to like the passing usage, that's actually what's kind of crazy. He's transitioned from like a passing down back or like a passing specialist to more of like a ground and pound ever since he left Detroit, and his attempts on the ground just like skyrocketed, right? So I don't know. I mean, maybe we see his passing work go up a little bit. That actually could be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if DeAndre Swift can finish as a 15 running back or better again this year. Actually, I might be convincing myself to go get DeAndre Swift. But yeah, no problem, Mystical. Thanks for stopping by, bro. But yeah, he wants to have the highest scoring offense this year. Interesting. Yeah, no, exactly. That's literally when you hear that, I don't want to get baited by coach speak too much. But when you hear stuff like that, you obviously have to take it just a little bit seriously, right? Like, especially if there's some merit to what he's saying, right? Like Bears, let's see, what did they finish last year as? Shit. NFL team stats. Let's see, points. Bears finished top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Top 10 in points, total points. So, you know, they finished 441 points scored. They're trying to break records. I don't know what the most points scored in an NFL season is. Let's see. Most points scored in a single NFL season. Individual points? No. Most points scored by a single team. Denver Broncos had 606 points. Damn. So they're trying to break a 606 point record with an average of 37.9 points per game. Shit. That's going to be tough. The Rams look like one of the best offenses we've seen in years, and they couldn't even get close to that last year in 17 games. So, like, dude, I don't know. They put up 6,700 yards. You know what I'm saying? It's Ben Johnson. I will believe it. All right, hey. I mean, if he's talking the talk, maybe he can walk the walk. We'll see. Swift was great last year. I traded him for Derrick Henry just when Henry started to perform after poor start. Nice. Probably your greatest trade in the 2020. Dude, and it won you a championship. Dude, that's sick. That's sick. That was a perfect way to play that too. Nice. I'm impressed. I think we heard about that, if I'm not mistaken. That might have been a group effort. You know, I think we might have been in on that. Walt said that was the year Peyton had 56 touchdowns. No shot to even get close to that Broncos team. Yeah, it'd be real tough. You're talking about literally one of the greatest quarterbacks. To be fair to all the Tom Brady lovers out there, like, obviously he's the GOAT. right? I don't want to. It sounds gross to say it because I'm not a huge Tom Brady fan, and I don't necessarily like how he did it with the Patriots. Maybe when he went to the Bucks, that was when I actually started to like warm up on Tom Brady. As weird as that sounds, but when he was on the Patriots, I was like, fuck that whole team and that whole organization. Just everything was just all bad with that, right? Of course, though, I will still admit he's the GOAT. But you're talking about if he didn't have 6 rings or however many rings he has, if he has 7, I don't even know how many fucking rings he has. It's definitely more than 6. But he ain't shit. Exactly. Yeah. I feel you, Mr. Midnight. If he didn't have all those rings, I'd be like, yo, Peyton Manning is clearly someone you could argue as the GOAT. Like, no joke. Peyton Manning is one of the, like, he's literally 1B. If you were saying it's like 1A, 1B, he's like the LeBron of the GOAT conversation in the NFL, right? In the NBA, rather, right? It's like everybody knows it's Michael Jordan, but there's a big group of people. Maybe it's not that much of a divide, but there's still a big group of people that probably would say that LeBron James is the GOAT and that, you know, Peyton Manning could be the GOAT. I know it's obviously like Patrick Mahomes now. He's the hotness. He has to win a few more rings to be really solidified in that GOAT conversation. But I'm gonna stand on my little Peyton Manning hill over here and say he's my GOAT of the NFL for quarterbacks at least, right? Cheating ass, yeah. Breeze. Oh, Breeze. 100%, I think, could actually press both of those guys. If we had an honest conversation, just rings aside, right? We don't even talk about the rings because I know Breeze only got 1, right? He honestly, Black Mamba is your go for that? Dude, hell yeah, bro. Rest in peace, Kobe. But nah, I'm right there with you, bro. He's definitely, you know, he fashioned his game after Jordan. So, like, he clearly is like the Jordan 2.0, like the true Jordan 2.0 of the league. So, yeah, I'm right there with you, Nico. But, so you're saying, Walt is saying it's Brady, Manning, and Montana. Okay, I mean, yeah, if you're a 49ers fan, and even if you're not a 49ers fan, I think you're right. You have to include Montana in that conversation. So, but yeah, I know people are putting Patrick Mahomes already in that conversation. It's like, let's pump the brakes a little bit. The young buck is still playing. I don't even think he's, how old is Patrick Mahomes? Is he 30 yet? No, yeah, he's like 32, right? He's 30. He just turned 30. Damn, or no, he's about to turn 31 in September. Damn, I didn't know he was a Virgo. All right, that's cool. Snubbed for at least one of the refs. Oh, wow, wait. You're saying Breeze was snubbed for at least 1 ring because the refs fucked him? Damn, bro, that's a deep cut. Honestly, only a Saints fan will really be able to pull that out of nowhere because I honestly forgot about that. You know, if that happened, that sucks, you know. Yeah. Oh, it was against the Rams? Shit. What year was that? Was that in the actual Super Bowl or was that in like the playoffs or something? Let's see. They changed the rules? What the fuck? New Orleans Super Bowl snub? No. Not the bowl, the playoffs. Oh, okay. Playoffs. Pass interference call? Oh, shit. Yeah, the 2019 championship game. NFC championship game. Oh, wait, no. Not 2019. What the fuck? Nope. That was the second one. Oh, the second one was the Minnesota Miracle. Oh, right. Got you. Yeah. No, the PI called 2019 or 2018. Oh, shit. '18 NFC Championship. Yep. The Rams defeated the New Orleans Saints 26-23 in overtime, bro. But the PI call was crazy. Oh, shit. No flag was thrown by the officiating crew, allowing the Rams to escape, dude. Oh, my gosh. Cornerback Roby Coleman, nickel Roby Coleman, heavily collided with Lewis before the ball arrived. A blatant uncalled helmet to helmet. Dude. No law robbery. Okay, this might be triggering to some Saints fans here in the chat. 100% PI. Got there early. That's a no flag. Wow. And it wasn't overtime. It was actually in the fourth quarter. So Google unfortunately got it wrong there. But well, I guess they technically didn't say the play happened in overtime. So never mind, they got it right. But that's crazy, bro. Clearly didn't even look, bro. That's a literal like textbook pass interference. Like, what do you mean? The player didn't even turn his head. He got there early, just all contact, like helmet to helmet on top of that. That's wild, bro. Wow. Yeah. Condolences. Yeah, that one would still hurt to this day for sure. And they changed the rules after that. Interesting. Wow. Wild. Sucks that the rule change had to come after the fact. That's like what, something like the Des Bryant catch, something Des Bryant caught it or something. I don't know, but it was actually a catch. Yeah. Are we all on the side of Des Bryant didn't catch it? I actually think he might have caught it. I'm leaning towards Des actually caught the shit. So hey, props to the Cowboys fans who are true believers out there. But it def does. But Bree's stats are crazy. Yeah, that's why bringing him up as one of the GOATs definitely could be an argument that you'd make in terms of stats wise, right? We're not talking about like rings and shit. Could have had a Mahomes Breeze Super Bowl that year. Oh shit, that's crazy, dude. That would have been sick. Des got it. Walt saying no catch. Oh shit. I didn't mean to start this. Sorry guys. That's funny. But all right, what else? What other news is there? Okay, so Michael Penix Jr., the Falcons signed Tua as insurance if Penix wasn't back for the opener, and Tua's first preseason game didn't go well. Penix is still limited to 7-on-7 work due to the recovery from a torn ACL, which does make it tough to believe that he'll be ready for week 1. Yeah, so Penix is still not even healthy enough to even be considered for week 1. So even if this was a conversation of, oh, they're both healthy, who's going to be the starter? Is it going to be Tua? Is it going to be Penix? That's not even a conversation. So it's clearly going to be Tua for at least until Penix can get healthy. And even then, we might see Tua, if he plays well, have this job for, the majority of the year potentially, right? And again, if he plays well, then that means good things for the fantasy pieces around him. So, I know he looked bad in his preseason game, but I think he'll be okay. Unless it was literally just like the Mike McDaniel scheme was just insane, and Tua was just a literal system guy, and the system made up for everything, right? Nah, I can't put him up there with Ring, sadly. Oh, okay, fair. Now I'm worried about Pitts and London value. Yes, this is for sure. I mean, listen, I was already worried about the Pitts and London value. That's actually why. I don't know if anybody's been really paying attention. I haven't really been talking about it as much. It's kind of just been like a quiet narrative I've been sort of just operating under. But I've been fading, unless you're talking about Bijan, right? Bij is the only Falcon I think I'm drafting this year. But every other Falcon, we're talking London, we're talking Pitts, we're talking literally anybody else not named Bijan Robinson, I'm fading, unfortunately. Like, I think I'm just worried about the way this team is going to look, and the inconsistencies that we'll probably see from everybody else, and maybe even from Bijan himself. But Tua's an Illuminati. Oh shit, does he have like a tattoo or some shit? Did I miss that? That's hilarious. But yeah, Drake London, he's going as the wide receiver 7, 10th pick overall, at least according to Fantasy Pros, right? Like, this was awesome last year for sure. And I want to say this was all with Kirk Cousins. Who was their quarterback last year? I don't think it was Penix the entire year, was it? Let's see. No, I guess he did play kind of most of that time. Wow. Okay. That's wild. Was it Kirk? I could have sworn it was Kirk. Oh, nice. Your food was delicious. Hell yeah, bro. I could have sworn it was Kirk too. Yeah, he played 10 games last year. So, but it was actually the back half of last year. So it was Penix to start. Dude, that's crazy. But either way, I mean, London, if we look at his games, His better games were towards the back half of the year. I think his best games were pretty much with Kirk, even though, to be fair, he did have a couple games with Penix, right? I think these two right here were with Penix. But then it was way more consistent with Kirk Cousins. So, and then when he came back, he got hurt. And when he came back, it was just, it was a shit show. Yeah, bad vibes with ATL. Pierce with the 8-game suspension. Oh, shit. Yeah. Is Stefanski a good coach? Great question. Do we know? I honestly don't know. I think the jury's out on that. We'll see this year what truly happens. I think this is a big year for a couple teams, right? Falcons for sure, big prove it year for the Falcons, or just a big year to like, are you gonna take a step forward or are you just gonna fucking fall completely apart? I think there's a higher likelihood of this team just kind of like completely shitting out than maybe taking a bigger step forward. But I think the highest likelihood is just they're kind of mediocre and they just kind of stay the same, which just doesn't show that Stefanski is like a good coach, but I don't think it shows that he's a bad coach, right? If they can keep it just kind of consistent. Because last year, I mean, what did the Falcons do? How many games did they win, even with the inconsistent quarterback or the sort of quarterback switch of it all? Let's see. NFL 2025 standings. Falcons finished as they tied for leading that division with 8-9. So they went 8-9, which is hilarious that everybody in this division just went 8-9. But if we look at their, no, it's literally just a split. So yeah, just middle of the road. If they can stay like middle of the pack, the Falcons, then we can at least know that Stefanski's not a bad coach, right? Or an awful coach. They almost made the wild card. Yeah. No, I mean, if I think the Panthers, there was a tiebreaker or something like that the Panthers had over the Falcons and the Bucks. So if like they lost, then the Falcons would have potentially had the wild card. I forget what it was, but it was a crazy. I mean, it's a 3-way tie, right? It's fucking crazy. So, but anyways, let's continue with the news. I know we're already an hour in, and I definitely want to get a mock going. After the news, there was something else I wanted to do. Oh yeah, we wanted to do our our marbles to refresh the draft order. Oh, I don't know if everybody here is already in the viewer league, but what I'll do is I'll just share the viewer league invite because we do have a open spot. So if anybody watching wants to join, it's free. Yeah, we'll re-roll the draft order. If anybody who's watching wants to join, it's free. This one is just the top 3 people who finish will get a special present from ya boy. And last year it was like Funko Pops and Pokemon cards. This year it'll probably be the same thing. Maybe I'll add like a sticker in there or something like that, or maybe like a hat. I don't know. We'll see. But that actually would be kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, we got an open spot. I feel like everybody here is already in it, but couldn't hurt to. Yeah, Rosh is in it. I'm pretty sure, right? Let's see. Always cool under pressure. Oh wait, maybe Rasha isn't in it, dude. Shit, Rasha. I think if you want to join, we got a spot right now. That's crazy. I guess he's not in it, dude. I could have sworn he was in this league. That's hilarious. All right, cool. Well, we got Rasha if he's down. So, all right. Moving on from Michael Penix Jr. Jalen Walker, that's a guy on. Wow, another Falcon is going to miss camp, dude. 2025 first round pick tore his ACL during camp, dude. That's crazy. Wow. After, James Pierce was suspended for 8 games. So combine those losses and the Falcons' quarterback issues, and the new head coach Kevin Stefanski has a challenge in front of him. That's wild, bro. Damn. So yeah, Falcons just bad vibes. This could be a situation where obviously their defense is going to be substantially like impacted from these 2 missing pieces. And so we could see teams just like really taking advantage of that. Obviously, I mean, it's the NFL. They're going to exploit these types of things. And so that means like more rush yards, probably longer time to pass in the pocket, for the opposing quarterbacks. Like, it's going to be negative game script a lot of the time for the Falcons. Like that's actually, I think, a fair assessment now. It's like if we thought maybe the Falcons were going to be good offensively or good defensively that could keep them in games and keep the sort of point differential low and them in the lead, well, now that's probably not going to be the case. And so we could see the Falcons playing from behind a lot of the time. And with a guy like Tua throwing the passes, and again, I'm high on Biche. I'm not high on him, but that's the only Falcon that I'm willing to draft. I think this just means maybe more like pass volume for Biche, to be honest. If negative game scripts are the thing, that means less handoffs for sure. But Bijan is someone who we've seen can actually be like heavily worked in the passing attack, right? That's definitely part of his upside. So, last year averaged probably like 7 targets a game, right? Maybe like 5 to 6 catches a game. So that's solid. But Zuthis is saying Gibbs over Bijan every day, and I absolutely agree with you, especially now, right? But I think I still, if I'm in like pick 3, pick 4, and I see Bijan Robinson there, I'm picking up Bijan Robinson. I'm not scared to pick him up because of this news, right? But yeah. Oh shit. Oh, you're in now. Hell yeah, bro. Let's go. All right, cool. So now we can actually do the draft order today. That's sick. Kitty making her second stream appearance. I think that's a record. She only ever makes one appearance. I've always wondered why you weren't there. Dude, that's true. I thought, I could have sworn he was there. I'm in like 3 or 4 different leagues with Rasha, so they all blend in together at this point. But yeah, that's funny. Oh, no, I still take him. If I'm pick number 1, I'm taking Gibbs. Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, you're definitely taking Gibbs number 1 overall. But like, Bijan is someone who I don't think you can pass up if like Chase, Gibbs, Puka, or even Jackson Smith-Njigba are gone. Like I would actually take Biche over Jackson Smith-Njigba and Puka Nacua. I think Gibbs and Chase are the only 2 guys I would take over Bijan right now, right? And I think Gibbs is obviously the number 1 overall. Jamar Chase, I'm a homer, so like I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pick him up, but also I think he's clearly warrants he could be a number 1 overall pick. Like I don't think ranking him as the number 1 overall is crazy, but even in my homer-centered mindset, I would still pick up Jahmyr Gibbs in a in a league where I'm actually not just a mock draft, but like a league where I'm like going all in to win. You have to put things like homer bias aside. I think Jahmyr Gibbs makes sense, as the number 1 overall pick. It just makes sense, right? But I wouldn't be mad at you if you took Jamar Chase as well. But yeah, it's still going to be lit Zuthis. But yeah, it's going to be lit Zuthis. Hell yeah. Oh, but y'all going down. Oh shit, Rasha. Oh shit. Shots fired. Is the $20 league full yet? No, I think there's actually, let's see. Let's actually take a look. There's 4 spots. I already know Matt already joined. I already actually have another person who I know will join this league. So let's just call it 5. And then if you're joining Walt, that's 6. If we get Rasha in here, that's 7. So realistically, we only need like 3 more people to get that league started. So yeah. And then, yeah, you're in like 10 leagues, bro. That's hilarious. You take Amon-Ra St. Brown over Puka and JSN. I agree with you. I don't think that's a crazy assessment. I like that a lot. But see, I probably would take CD over all of those guys. And then Amon-Ra after CD. But I agree with you that I would take Amon-Ra over JSN and Puka and everybody else, obviously. But yeah, if needed, maybe you can join. Don't press it. Don't press it. Obviously, it's a money league, so I don't want to make you join a money league by force. It's only if you're down, right? But yeah, just let us know. We'll keep you on the back burner as like a desperation backup pick. But yeah, wow. Well, you're saying JSN over all those guys, so you would put JSN as like the number 3, maybe number 4 in your rankings. Interesting. I get it. I mean, last year was it's just too good, man. Like one bad game, literally all year. Maybe to the 13-point game, you could say, just because he set the expectation so high that his 13-point game was a bad game. And that's still serviceable, right? So, yeah, I mean, this is the thing. He obviously has the higher target share on his team. That's not the issue. I think the issue for me is that Seattle is the Super Bowl winning team, right? They took people off guard last year with this type of shit. I don't think people are going to be just like, as good as JSN is and as good as this team might be as a full, like a unit, right? In its entirety, right? Defense, special teams, everything. I still think offensively, they're not going to get away with this year. Like, I don't know if I can see, as good as Sam Darnold showed us he was last year, can he repeat that? Are defenses just letting Sam Darnold carve them up like that? I don't know. I think they're going to do things differently with their defensive looks or how they guard Jackson Smith and Jigba specifically, that they're going to make other players beat them, right? So that of course, again, JSN is definitely a top 5 talented wide receiver in the league for sure, right? And in a perfect situation, he's going to do stuff like this all day. But, I'm probably lower on JSN than like normal people are just because of just a hunch that like maybe it's not going to be the same. It's going to be tough, for them to continue to do what they did last year, right? Minnesota, I don't know what this was. Whatever Minnesota did in week 13, where JSN only had 4 targets and 2 catches for 23 yards, that's what teams are going to go back to week 13 in their film room, and they're going to be like, what did Minnesota do to JSN, right? This was a home game for Seattle. So unless this was like a weather game or something like that, like, I don't know, there could have been other factors that were the reason why he only got 4 targets and only got 2 of those passes. But like, that's the blueprint for how to stop JSN is this game right here. So yeah, Darnold does force feed him the ball. He's a safety blanket, bro. He's literally his go-to guy. So there's no competition inside Seattle, really. Right. No, there isn't, and like, I brought up guys like AJ Barner, someone who could be like a late round flyer, punt, tight end, streamer type guy, but it was 26-0. What, Minnesota shut him out? Damn. Their defense ate them alive, I think. Holy shit. Okay. I mean, yeah, so again, that's the blueprint, right? That's wild. That's actually, so that's scary. I'm just saying that's scary. Just a little bit of a reason to maybe pump the brakes on, obviously, again, it's all green, so we can't like be too harsh about it. But yeah, that's very tight. I'm not sure if the play action will be as effective and the new OC, right? New OC and different running back, right? Different run game. Sure, Charbot will still be there, but like, again, Charbot might not be 100% come week 1, even though he is ahead of schedule. They're saying he's projected to be there, but is he the full Charbot that we know in terms of how they utilized him in this offense? Probably not. And then that means that's a lot of extra pressure on Jadarian Price. I'm sure that they'll figure out those growing pains, but like, if you're making everybody but Jackson Smith and Jigba beat you, right? Let's see who Seattle plays week 1. Cause now I'm humoring this hypothetical a little too much. So Seattle schedule. They are playing the Patriots. Wow. So it's a straight up Super Bowl rematch. Dude, that's crazy, dude. Oh no, Seattle shut out the Vikings. Oh. Jeez. Yeah, I should have just looked. Okay, so Seattle shut out the Vikings. That is a good distinction. That is a very essential distinction. So, yeah, week 13. Where is that? Oh, it's up here. Yeah, this game right here. Okay. Yeah, I just, it's easy to forget when the Vikings were that bad last year. Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense for Seattle to have gotten shut out, but I could have believed it just because, like, I don't know, the Seattle Seahawks are known to do things like that maybe in the past. Maybe not. that's I probably should have remembered that. But regardless, the thing is, Minnesota figured out a way to shut down JSN, and maybe that was more of like the fact that the game script was such a way that they didn't need to pass the ball. Like, let's see how much Sam Darnold only passed for 128 yards. He completed 14 passes out of 26 attempts. So that's actually like trash. I don't know. Maybe it was their defense. It was probably their defense. It seems like, yeah, Brosmer short right interception. So pick 6. Yeah, they had no need to throw to JSN. Yeah, bro. Okay. Yeah, you literally said he threw 4 interceptions. Jesus, man, that's wild. Yeah, exactly. Okay, fair. Damn, that's crazy. You guys just like remember this game like right off the top, dude. That's pretty impressive. I gotta say, that's impressive. All right, so rest of this news, Breece Hall. This is a big story. This is actually a big story. So he will miss 2 to 3 weeks with a groin injury, but is expected to be ready for the regular season. So, yeah, I mean, they're being cautious with him. I don't know. Like, I guess the reason why I'm saying it's big is because people are drafting right now, and Breece Hall is someone who is actually still a top 14 drafted running back. And so, you know, even though he's super inconsistent, he's still an RB2, and he's going as an RB2. It's Geno Smith. He likes to dump off to his running back. So there was sort of this passing attack value that people were seeing as a potential out of Breece Hall this year. And yeah, so now it's just like he's going to be a little hobbled maybe coming into the year. It doesn't make me higher on any of the other guys on this backfield, but it definitely maybe freaks me out on Breece Hall. Not that I was targeting Breece Hall in drafts, but I wouldn't have been mad at picking him up if like maybe he slid around or something like that, right? I'm still going Kyron Williams and guys like Javonte Williams and even Travis Etienne, and you could make an argument of going Cam Scatterbo over Breece Hall, but that's probably where you would draw the line, right? So, but now this line gets a little blurry. Like if you're looking at Scatterbo and Breece Hall, you got to make a decision. You know what I mean? That's actually a decision you got to make at that point, right? I don't think it's as easy as cut and dry as just going Breece Hall at that point. So we'll see. JSN isn't a bad first rounder, maybe not a top 5. Listen, I don't want to get too hung up on the JSN of it all. He definitely marks, yes, I think qualifies as a top 5. To me, again, I would pick up CeeDee Lamb over him. I would pick up Amon-Ra over him. And that's probably where I would draw the line. I think I would still pick up JSN over Drake London and like Justin Jefferson, obviously. I don't think that's a question at all. But yeah, CeeDee Lamb and Amon-Ra are 2 guys I still would pick up over JSN. That might sound crazy, but I'm doing it. Oh, you like Hall, but the Jets are wasting him? Yeah, that's true. Him and Wilson, dude. Him and Garrett Wilson are just being completely... I mean, that's what the Jets do. They just fucking waste talent. It's really sad, actually, you know? If your pick 3 and Gibbs and Bijan are gone, you're taking JSN? Okay, so he's the first wide receiver off the board for you, is what you're saying. You pick him up over Jamar Chase. You'd pick him up over Puka Nacua, which I don't think is crazy. I probably would do the same thing. But at least with Puka's potential suspension, right? Which they still haven't announced. Am I crazy, or did they not announce anything for Puka Nacua's suspension yet, Dad? Let's see. Did he get suspended? Is under review. Oh, okay, so yeah, potential suspension. I like ASR Amon-Ra St. Brown for the safety. Yeah, they will announce it on August 28th. Oh shit. Okay. All right, so we got like 10 days. All right, let's speed run through the rest of this news so we can do our draft order. You're calling it? Nice. I like that. Is that the end of the preseason? Is that like the last preseason game, I want to say? Cool. All right, so some key Panthers, nothing crazy there. Lions safeties, Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are both working back from season-ending injuries. Okay, so nice. There could be a lot of high-scoring games for Detroit early on. All right. And then Malik Neighbors is back in drills at camp, but not quite yet back to full speed. Overall, the news has been fairly optimistic for Neighbors, who is returning from a torn ACL. His presence is huge for the Giants offense that is thin at receiver after him. Yeah, because they lost Wandale. I think they still have Sterling Shepard, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe Slayton. Actually, not Sterling Shepard. I think they have Darius Slayton still, right? So, that doesn't make people confident, behind Malik Neighbors. St. Brown drops the ball way too much. Dude, that was, I think, what people were surprised by from him last year. But that's not typically what he does. Let's see. Amon-Ra St. Brown drops over the years. Okay, so again, last year was the most drops he's ever had. Okay, even though I guess the previous 2 years he only had one less drop. So, his drops have been growing and his drop percentage has been increasing, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I will say he's still one of the more reliable guys in the NFL. And, 5 drops last year isn't great, but those are 10 drops last year. What the hell is this then? What, man, Google, you got to give me some actual stats. That list seems off. Yeah, you're probably right. Let's see. Are there drops on this list? Drops. Yeah, you're right. He had 10 last year. Okay. And then at 8 in 2023, dude. Damn, Google got that way wrong. So, yeah. So, okay. I mean, he has had 2 years where he's had 8 or more drops, and last year was one of them. So, but after that 8 drop year, he did jump back down or dip back down to 4 drops. So maybe he's like focusing on that this year again. Like, I don't know what it was last year that contributed to all those drops. Like, that, again, feels like a little bit of an outlier to me, even though he does have another year where he did get 8 drops. So, it's something to be worried about, that it could be a bit of a pattern for him. But again, I think Amon-Ra is the type of player, and who knows, maybe he's like a little distracted with his podcast now, or, he's more focused on like being a mentor to like the up and coming, guys like JMO and Isaac Tesla or something like that. I don't know, that he's less focused on his own game. I don't think that's the case. I think he actually is in the lab working on his catching, working on not, getting 10 drops again this year. So I'd be willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. I just think like that offense is way more effective and efficient than the Seattle Seahawks offense is, in my opinion. At least this year they'll be, right? Like, sure, you can make the argument last year Seattle might have been more efficient on offense, and obviously their defense was better, so they were giving them more opportunities on offense to score in short yard scenarios. So it's like, or short field scenarios. So it's like, okay, Detroit Lions is not going to are not going to do that. But at the same time, just because you're not good defensively doesn't mean that like you're not going to be putting up yards and points on the offensive side of the ball, right? In fact, probably going to be having to put up more because your defense is so bad, right? Look at the Bengals, look at the Cowboys, right? So, Lions have an elite offense. You got Gibbs, you got Amon-Ra, Jared Goff is still a gunslinger, Sam Laporta is still a gamer, right? Isaac Tesla is a low-key sleeper that I think people should pay attention to, but let's not forget about J-Mo Williams, right? So it's like, that all those guys are studs. This team is going to score points. I want a piece of that, right? Maybe it's not Amon-Ra, but I'm definitely getting J-Mo. I'm definitely getting, again, Gibbs is my number 1 guy off the board. I don't know. So that's just what I'm doing. Oh, they're not the same without Johnson as their OC? Shit. I mean, who's their OC now? Let's take a look. Drew Petzing, who was hired following previous stints as an offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals and tight ends coach for the Cleveland Browns. Ew, bro. That kind of sounds not good. Previously spent the 2023 to 2025 season running the offense in Arizona. Oh, okay, so he actually was running the offense last year in Arizona. Arizona wasn't terrible offensively. It was mostly garbage time points. But, like, I guess, like, still not terrible. Yeah, this isn't a great look. When you bring in an offensive coordinator from a bottom 3 team, actually no, they were literally the worst team in the NFL last year. I want to say like literally, yeah, they were they weren't terrible in garbage time when the game was already out of reach. They were putting up points in scenarios where they had no chance of winning. So I guess I don't want to give them too much credit for that, but fantasy wise, not to say that that's going to happen in Detroit. So actually, this makes me a little hesitant. I don't know. I want to do a little more research on this Drew Petzing guy and see if, there's something to be a little worried about here, because this could change how I look at maybe this offense as a whole. I don't know if I'm completely running away from like all Lions, but this might sink my expectations on like all the pass catchers for sure. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is still safe, but I'm a little worried. Yeah, Arizona looked good when the other team took out their starters. Exactly. They were playing the second string. Okay. All right, what else here? Alec Pierce. Oh yeah, this was a pretty big. Okay. Well, we talked about Jeremiah Love a little bit, but let me just read this blurb real quick. So they made the decision to give him 14 touches, and now they're paying the price. Love suffered a high ankle sprain, and that's an injury that can slow down a player long after they return. Absolutely, high ankle sprains can definitely linger, and even just like it's similar to like a knee. Maybe you don't have surgery or anything like that, but it's something it's hard to trust immediately after you return from it. Like maybe you're medically cleared, maybe you can technically get up to full speed, but you're not cutting the same, you're not even running your routes the same, right? Even as simple things as like stepping up to pass protect, you're not even pass protecting the same, right? So you're not picking up blitzes the same. Like it's a big deal. Like I'm not even trying to over exaggerate this, but for a guy who's a rookie, who's coming in on a bad offense, or at least an offense on a team that will be a negative game script a lot of the time, so it'll be a lot of passing scenarios. So he's not really going to be, facing sort of scenarios where he can run freely, right, with like just a handoff. It's going to be tough sledding for sure. And so even though he's super talented and we saw him look flashy in the preseason, like his path to success is much harder than like really anyone else you're drafting in that range. So if I'm bringing it back to the fantasy relevancy of it all, we're talking about Jeremiah Love going now. Actually, he's going in the, where the hell is he going? He's not going as high as Genty, is he? No, Jeremiah Love going as RB13. So right above guys like Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams, Travis Etienne, right? So it's like, I'll probably draw the line at Travis Etienne, but I wouldn't be mad at picking up Javonte Williams, Kyron Williams over Jeremiah Love right now. That's probably what I would do. Igbuka's injury is the same turf toe that lingers all year. Ooh, that does not sound good. It slowed Barkley in 2019. Oh, shit, you're talking about that ankle? Yes, you're right. Yeah, Barkley was dealing with a high ankle sprain in 2019. And then, does that make the other Bucs wide receiver more valuable? I agree. Yes, it does. And I would say, actually, Jalen McMillan is the guy who I'm targeting out of all of those guys. We've talked about this a little bit before on this stream, but Jalen McMillan last year missed most of the year, right? But I'm going back into his rookie year where we looked at his rookie performance in 2024. He finished the year averaging about 5 to 6 targets a game and an amazing catch rate, and got in the end zone every single week for the last 5 weeks of that year, right? Actually helped me win a championship. Literally, this is the year I won a championship in my main league, and I had him as my flex from basically week 14 on. So he was definitely someone who contributed to a lot of people winning their leagues. And if he can get back to sort of this type of player, again, he was a rookie that year. He's only 24 years old, super duper young, coming off of, I want to say an actual. So wait, no, this is the news right here. He's actually been missing from practice for the last week due to a knee issue. So, but he did return to action on Tuesday as he looks towards a potential rebound season. Okay, so there is some positive news here, right? He's back at practice. That was 10 hours ago. So, good to see, right? So this is someone who is going completely off of people's draft boards, right? In the back of drafts, he might be someone you literally pick up in the last round, but if Ibuka misses any time, if Ibuka is slow to get going, we could see Jalen McMillan be kind of like the de facto guy you want on this team, who ends up doing a lot of work with not a ton of targets. And yeah, actually, like I'm liking Jalen McMillan more and more as the season gets closer. So I might even end up having him on like a lot of my teams. Again, it's just like a late round flyer, but I wouldn't be surprised if this guy starts going in like the 13th, 12th round. I don't know if he gets higher than that, but like Chris Godwin obviously is someone who everybody's going to be jumping on. Jalen McMillan is someone who's a sneaky late round pick who could easily, like, again, slot into your lineup if Ibuka has a slow start to his year. So that's what I'll say about Jalen McMillan. Turf toe sounds so mild, but if you look it up what it is, it sounds painful. Yeah, dude, it's like torn ligament under your big toe or some shit. It's like not bad. I mean, it's not good. It's like, yeah, stretching or tearing the soft tissues ligament on the bottom of your foot. Imagine trying to make cuts with that. You just can't. Well, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, I had a serious bout with plantar fasciitis a couple years back, and it still, to this day, does not feel normal, right? I can move normally, right? Like I can walk, I can play basketball, I can do whatever I want, but it's still just, it lingers. That shit, you always feel it, right? So, and I'm not playing in the NFL. So yeah, no, bottom of the, like, foot issues specifically can, if you're not addressing them as like aggressively as you should, can definitely become lingering issues. I mean, you could say that with any injury, sure, but yeah, no, I agree with you on that. It's like Ibuka for sure slides a little bit in my rankings. He's going still as the wide receiver 21. I'm sure I'd probably be willing to pick up, like, maybe not Luther Burden, but maybe Devontae Adams. I don't know. He also has been dealing with some issues, right? I want to say his news hasn't been great. So yeah, that maybe DJ Moore if I'm reaching right over a guy like Ibuka, but maybe I just wait on receiver for a round if that's what I'm looking at, right? So yeah. Okay, let's finish this news. Only a couple more things. We talked about Jeremiah Love, Alec Pierce. We didn't really talk about him, but he has not been on the field and it's due to an ankle injury. So the Colts signed Keenan Allen because they're thin at receiver, but there's no announced timetable for Pierce's return. Jesus. The Colts offense changes without Pierce, who led the NFL in yards per reception 2 straight seasons. So when he's on the field, he's a field stretcher. Clearly, he's someone they want on this team to be available for them. But when he's not available, it just, maybe impacts their down the field ability. I'm not worried about it from like a standpoint of all the other players involved. I'm still drafting Jonathan Taylor where I'm drafting him. I'm still drafting Tyler Warren where I'm drafting him. Maybe this changes people's outlook on guys like, I don't even know, like Josh Downs. We just saw he's hurt now too, right? Can y'all believe football starts in 3 weeks? Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy that it feels like it's been flying by. Like it was literally July 10th when we started our stream for the first stream this year. And it's been honestly so quick. We're already like 20 streams into this year. It feels like, or it doesn't feel like that. But yeah, three weeks till the season starts, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm excited. I'm stoked. So we talked about, I just to finish off the news, 'cause I definitely want to get to the draft order and then maybe do a mock draft. Alec Pierce, he's going to miss some time. We're going to have to find out exactly how much time he's going to miss. I was already off of Alec Pierce in general. I think he definitely slides even further than where he is right now. He's wide receiver 41. People were looking at him actually like kind of a steal in this range because his risk was baked in. He clearly is someone who misses time almost each and every season. Well, I guess he's only really played one full season. He does miss a game or two each year, but like he missed 2 last year. But like this is now something we have to be a little bit concerned about going into the year, at least with our immediate expectations for him. Again, it's probably drafted or baked into his ADP already. So you might not see his ADP depressed that much from where it is currently. But for me, again, I was already off of him. I'd much rather go for guys like Mekhi Lemon over Alec Pierce. Even Jordan Addison, as crazy as that sounds, probably not Jaden Reed. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm just not an Alec Pierce guy. So I would probably get, like, definitely Quentin Johnson if he wasn't hurt, right? So, yeah, we love mock drafts. Yeah, we gonna mock. We gonna mock soon. All right, so yeah, that's the Alec Pierce take. All those 49ers. Ricky PJ, George Kittle, who is progressing well, apparently. We got Mike Evans, who is dealing with quad tightness, right? He was actually, I think it was initially his ankle, right? He was icing his ankle, and then he moved it up to his quad. At least I think that was the report. But, I know even Stribling dealt with his kind of minor little scare, but now is, I think, back and looking good, right? We heard from Walt that he, our NFL insider, Walt Grizzly, we heard from our NFL insider, Walt Grizzly, that Stribling is looking great in 49ers training camp. So that's obviously a good headline as well. And then, so yeah, I think Kittle won't be back till week 3 or 4. Interesting. I know he was trying to be back for week 1, and they're saying he hasn't been cleared yet for week 1. Obviously, if it was up to him, he'd push it. But yeah, I agree with you, Walt. I don't think we can expect Kittle earlier than week 3, right? Week 1, week 2, I think it's a given. He's probably not going to be playing. So yeah, Stribling is healthy. Love to see it, especially because, like, I'm a big Stribling believer now too. You've got me on the Stribling wagon. Well, I'm there with you now. Okay, Tyson Jordan. Cover your ears, Mr. Midnight. But Tyson came into the NFL with injury concerns already, and now he's out for an estimated 2 months with a hamstring injury. The 8th overall pick of the draft will now be behind when he comes back, and that's bad news for the Saints offense that was hoping for him and Chris Olave to energize the passing attack. So, man, this just really sucks, especially if you are a Saints fan. Obviously, this is like the worst news you could hear, borderline, right? So now Jordan Tyson is literally just like off of people's draft boards. He's probably falling down to like the last couple rounds as basically just like a late round stasher who, you're putting on IR, right? You're just probably dropping him on IR because he's definitely going to start the year on IR. If anything, if he doesn't have like season-ending injury, which I think, or a season-ending surgery, which I think was, if I'm not mistaken, in the conversation. So we'll see obviously more about that later, but like, just, this sucks. Oh shit. Yeah, he probably could be, but based on his recent interview, it sounded like they might hold him out a bit. Oh, you're talking about Stribling? Oh, okay. Kellen Black is back too and looks great. Interesting. Is that on 49ers? And then Chris Olave has already been my huge pick for wide receiver. Nice. Yeah. No, I mean, like, I think people are high on Chris Olave for a good reason. He got paid, and just, it's some continuity, right, with Tyler Shuck. He actually looked good with Tyler Shuck last year, right? If we want to go back and take a look at what Olave did last year, I mean, he finished as the wide receiver 6, right? So, I mean, like, tons of volume, pretty effective in terms of getting in the red zone or getting in the end zone. It took a little bit of time to get that going, but towards the end of the year, 3 out of the last 5 games of the NFL season, actually, no, sorry, 4 out of the last 6 games, he got in the end zone. And in week 16, he had 2 touchdowns, right? So, like, this fantasy playoff stretch right here, 20.5 fantasy points, 36.8, 25.9 points in week 15, 16, and 17, respectively. I mean, 3 straight games with touchdowns. This is just, I mean, this is obviously like as good as you can ask for. So if you see that this year, right? And obviously these are super soft matchups. This was literally against the Panthers, the Jets, and the Titans. So it's just like soft matchup after soft matchup. Probably the best fantasy schedule in the playoffs last year. But so does he do that again? I don't know. This is obviously a really great stretch for him, but again, super high volume. Like, that's about as much as you can ask for as like a guy going in the second round. So, in the back of the second round at that, like, I probably wouldn't be mad at picking. I know people, I'm on the Nico Collins bandwagon. I think I believe in the talent there, but there's no reason to think that, Chris Olave couldn't finish. I mean, he did finish above Nico Collins last year, right? Nico Collins was the wide receiver 7. Chris Olave was the wide receiver 6. We could see that again. I don't know. So I guess maybe we'll see Chris Olave jump a little bit in drafts, but I don't know if the news is going to impact his draft capital that much, right? I think he's about where he's going to go. Cyrus Allen will be a gem in the late rounds. I agree with that. Yeah, he's the rookie RB they got in the draft. Oh, you're talking about that guy Black, Kalen Black. Okay, yeah, he's the rookie they drafted in the rookie RB they drafted, and he's going to be the second RB behind CMC. Nice. Okay, so he's like a nice late round stasher. Smooth C is saying, not sure if you saw my last comment, but I said I found out my draft pick yesterday. I'm the 8th pick. Who should I target? 12 teams, full PPR. Okay. All right, let's take a look. So full PPR rankings right now has Justin Jefferson as your 8th overall pick. Personally, if it was there, if I'm sitting at 8th overall and I missed out on guys like CeeDee Lamb or Amon-Ra and it's Justin Jefferson, it's literally this exact draft board, I would probably dip down and go like a Jonathan Taylor. I don't know if I believe in Justin Jefferson this year. I know he's like angry Justin, so maybe he proves me wrong. Christian McCaffrey just scares me with the tightness. You know what I mean? That's what this is saying, James Cook. So obviously if CeeDee Lamb is there, I'm with you. Check the status. It's CeeDee Lamb, right? But my guess is he's probably not going to be there because, you know, again, if we're going based on these rankings, if he's there, that means somebody might have jumped over him to pick up a Justin Jefferson and did you a favor, or picked up like a Christian McCaffrey because, you know, they don't know about his like calf tightness or whatever, or general tightness rather. I don't know if they actually said if it was calf or not, but you know, maybe even of JT. But like I said, if it's literally this top 7 are gone, right up to CeeDee Lamb, I think I'm picking up JT here. Unless you want a wide receiver. If you really do want a wide receiver, I'm going past Justin Jefferson, I'm going past Drake London, and I'm picking up probably an AJ Brown or a Nico Collins. I know that sounds ridiculous. It would, and I'm leaning Nico Collins over that. So the only reason is Justin Jefferson is on like arguably a team with one of the worst quarterback rooms in the league. I mean, you could say that maybe about the Cardinals, or you could have said that maybe about the Raiders at some point. Now that they have Kirk Cousins, maybe that's no longer a conversation. The Jets are part of that conversation as well, with Geno Smith leading that room. But again, the Minnesota Vikings strike me as a team with one of the weaker quarterback rooms. So I'm not encouraged by that. I'm also not encouraged, and not to say that Justin Jefferson can't get it done with a bad quarterback. We've seen him do it before, right? I'm pretty sure, but you know, and last year was pretty bad with Carson Wentz, right? So fair. It was honestly awful. We're seeing games where he got 8 targets. He only caught 2 passes for 22 yards. And you could probably say those 6 passes he didn't catch were just not catchable, right? So, now he has a Heisman throwing him the ball, and Kyler Murray. Fair. You know, we'll see if Kyler actually locks in this year. I think it's fair to say that it's a coin flip, right? I don't know if it's just an automatic guarantee that like we see vintage Kyler Murray from like 2019 and 2020 or 2021. What was his best year? Yeah, so he finished as the QB2 in 2020 and never really recaptured that peak. He actually has been sliding further and further down the rankings each and every year. He did miss some time in these years, though, where he was sliding down. And last year, or I guess 2 years ago in 2024, where he played all 17 games, he did finish as the quarterback 10. So, you know, last year he only played 5 games. If he does play all 17 games this year with Minnesota, I mean, there is a chance that he does kind of recapture his maybe top 15, top 12 quarterback allure. And if that does happen, you know, despite all the Grand Theft Auto 6s, you know, of the world and the Call of Duty releases and whatnot, maybe Kyler Murray can potentially be a sufficient enough quarterback to propel Justin Jefferson specifically into a top 5 fantasy relevant conversation as a wide receiver, because that's what's going to happen, right? So let me see. Actually, there's name a year Justin Jefferson has ever had a good quarterback. That's a good question. Wasn't Kirk Cousins there one year? I want to say Kirk Cousins was there a year, and that actually was probably Justin Jefferson's best year. Let's see. He finished as wide receiver 1 in 2022. Who was the Minnesota Vikings QB in 2021? It was Kirk Cousins. So his best year as a wide receiver was Kirk Cousins. And so was Kirk Cousins as the quarterback. So Justin Jefferson's best year as a wide receiver, number 1 overall, was Kirk Cousins throwing to him. And this was probably Kirk Cousins' like best year as a quarterback. So, that was definitely a correlation there. But like, yeah, he started 16 games, threw for 4,200 yards, 33 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions, earning a Pro Bowl alternate nod. So not even like a first ballot Pro Bowl or whatever you want to call it. He was an alternate. Still, solid year for him. Again, probably one of his best years. And, that, again, is someone who I look at Kirk Cousins as a serviceable quarterback. In fact, he's above average to me in the grand scheme of things in the NFL, at least at this point in his career. Now, obviously, that isn't the case. But at this point in his career, Kirk Cousins was definitely an above average quarterback. I mean, again, Pro Bowl alternate, right? So that has a large reason to do with why Justin Jefferson finished as the wide receiver 1 that year. Where is it? But, that's just wide receiver 2, though, with who in 2024. Okay, now I have to be fair, and I have to look up 2024. Okay, so Sam Darnold, actually, this was before he left to go to the Seattle Seahawks, right, and then won a Super Bowl with them. He actually was the quarterback for Minnesota and was a big part of the reason, obviously, as to why Justin Jefferson finished as the wide receiver 2 that year. So, can we see Kyler Murray do this? Pull a Kirk Cousins throwing 4,200 yards and only 7 interceptions, pulling Sam Darnold and earned a Pro Bowl reserve nod. Wow, so 2 different reserve Pro Bowlers were the reasons why Justin Jefferson had his top 2 and top 1 wide receiving overall years, right? So, anyways, that's what I would say. Give me K1 and 9 any day over the week. Interesting. You hate 9? You don't like pick 9? Oh, you're talking about Kyler Murray and Justin Jefferson, or Justin McCarthy, JJ McCarthy. Jeez. Pro Bowl isn't a good measuring stick. Look at the QBs that were in it last year. LMAO. Yeah, was it like? I know it wasn't Geno Smith, but yeah, 20. Let's look at it. Okay, Drake May. They had Lamar Jackson. Oh, oof. I mean, yeah, that was rough. Russell Wilson, was an alternate. And then reserves on the NFC side. Sam Darnold, Jaden Daniels. And then, yeah, I'm sure there were a couple other. Oh, was he in there? Shador Sanders was in there? Yikes, dude. Yeah, I think it was because like Drake May was in the playoffs, right? So it's like they can't. And same with Joe Burrow, maybe? No, I think Joe Burrow actually played. Yeah, because Bengals missed the playoffs. Same with the Ravens. So yeah. All right. We've droned on long enough. I think it's time to do our marbles and do our draft order. So, but real quick, Micah Parsons is working back for torn ACL and believes he could make it for a Week 6 game against the Cowboys. Cool. All right, so he should be back by Week 6. And then Commanders offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil torn his triceps and is going to keep him out for most, if not all, of the season. And it turns a solid offensive line into a below average one. Yeah, that's pretty shitty. And man, offensive linemen just getting murked these days. Did I figure marbles out? What we're going to do is this. How do you change marble names in marbles? Add a custom name for a simulation race. Open the game on Steam and go to the race tab. Clip settings in gear icon. Use the custom names and click add names to type in manually or upload a text file. Okay, we're going to figure this out. That really sucks. No, for sure. Tunsil is good. And that's bad overall for them. And in fact, maybe makes me think a little bit like hesitantly, right? Maybe it makes me a little hesitant of just going all in on the Commanders this year. Even though I really wasn't. I think the only commander I was like targeting in drafts was honestly JCM, right? Just where he's going. I'm not super high on Jaden Daniels. Not super high on Terry McLaurin. I know they just got Stephon Diggs, but like, you know, maybe he's also someone I'd be willing to stash on my team in the back of drafts just based on his draft position. But I could see people reaching for him as well, potentially. But yeah, just, I don't know. Commanders, I'm kind of just a little cool on this year, right? Which is weird because they feel, yeah, Commanders are a pass. Yeah, I feel that way too. Even though, I don't know, there's kind of a lot of hype with them. But then it's just maybe residual hype. Yeah, Diggs is okay in the 13th. Yeah, exactly. You're picking him up in the back of drafts. If he gets reached on, fine. But I won't be the one to do it. Let me just put it to you that way. Okay, so here we go. Let me pull up my marbles real quick. If I can find it. Marbles. Oh, I think I have to sign in on Steam. Hold on one sec. Are we actually able to have our names this time? Yes. That is, hopefully this AI overview from Google isn't lying to me. Yeah, we about to find out. All right, hold on. I got to sign on to Steam. One sec. Let me just make sure I don't dox my shit. Be right back. All right, hopefully it remembered my settings so it doesn't blow up my fucking frame rate again. You like your name? Wuka Waduko? Yeah, that might you might have to use that for your team name going forward. No, we'll see. All right, so it looks like the frame rate actually isn't dead. So let's go. Nope. Continue. All right. Gameplay creator. Nope. It said race settings, right? Do I have to do it in the fucking race? See, this is where it was like not showing me the actual marble names advanced. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me pull that back up. Open the game on Steam. Go to the race tab. Clip settings in gear icon. Use custom names. Click add names. Okay, so click settings. I'm in settings, bro. Play. Oh, customize. Oh, shit. Let's go. Random skins. Available skins. No, this isn't it. Modifiers? No, this isn't it. My marble. Make sure marbles can't fall this time. Oh, fair. Yes. What? Yo, bro, this is probably so fucking stupid to watch me try to do this shit. The hub. Competitions, leaderboards, connection, emotes. Nope. Play. I think I'm just going to have to start a race again. Build, dust, tilted, blue, marble up. Is it just a race? Click race and then go to settings. Oh, Walt, you're a genius. You're a genius, Walt. That's literally what it said, though. So, like, I'm just clearly bad at following instructions. But race settings. Subs only, no. Marble subscription, no. Where's the race settings? Am I not seeing it? Require marble account, no. Team racing. It's in simulation settings. Oh shit, use custom names. Oh fuck yeah, add names. Oh fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go, dude. Plus. Let's go. I'm just going it off of memory, guys. So if I don't get you, it means I fucked up. All right, who am I missing now? We can also only see 75% of the screen. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Let me fix that for y'all. There we go. Is that better? That's better, right? But it just doesn't have the chat on the screen now. That's fine, I guess. Even though, no, fuck that. Let me get the chat overlay on. I also sound different? Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. Okay. We're good. We're good now. I shouldn't have said anything. Sounds like you jumped to your cam. Yeah, true. Have you drafted already your main leagues? No, I actually haven't drafted in any of my main leagues. All of my drafts are happening pretty much last week of August or first week of September, which is, I prefer that. So I'm glad that like most of my draft, most of the commissioners in the leagues that I'm in are also cool with drafting later. So it's a nice little vibe. Okay, cool. So who else do we have? Let me look at the. So now I have to pull up the league. Oops. Bear with me. Sleeper. Sleeper does this thing where you like go to an old link and then it just doesn't show you anything. All right. Who am I missing? Oh yeah, I'm missing Mr. Midnight, duh. We just saw him today. I'm missing Ricky Meeks. Let's see, Justice. And Zuthas. We got Zuthas, Walt, Misty. Oh, yeah. Check the status. Big East, Texas. Right. Big East, Texas. 1, 2. Name count 10. Okay, so there's 2 more people I'm missing. Gives me the ball. That's Nico Dobbs. And oh, wait. We didn't, Rasha, I don't think you've joined the league yet, have you? Oh, there it is. It is 12. Wait, no. The fuck? Are you drafting Jettas if he falls to you? Yeah, I think if he falls to like pick 10. I think I did say earlier that that pick 8 feels a little too early for me. That's all of them. There's one that I'm missing. Me, Rasha, Zuthas, Walt. Check the status. Misty, Midnight, Ricky Meeks, Justice League, Big. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm missing one. Who am I missing? Matty Boots. Oh shit! How could I forget Matty Boots? Damn. So true. All right, cool. Dude, we fucking did it. Let's go. We figured it out. No, that's 12. Okay, cool. That's on. Let's go. All right. Now, how do I make it so that you can't fall off? Wall eliminator? No. We're putting walls up. Flaps? No. Snap to marble? No. Okay, that feels good, right? All right, cool. Chargers fans. Yeah, he'll remember that one. Yeah, if Matt wasn't working late tonight, he'd probably be in the chat just being like, I can't believe you forgot about your boy. You also need to assign Rasha to a team. Oh, that's what it is. That's why he's not showing up. Okay, that's what's going on. Yeah, assign. Perfect. Cool. It takes a village, y'all. It takes a village. Okay, cool. Let's go to standard. Let's do a different one. I know we did Cosmic Chaos last time. Few will survive. No. Oh, Gurg's Splash-tastic. Oh, dude. Yes. Yes. We are doing this. I think you can find maps you can't fall off of. Oh, well, I took the walls. I took wall break off or some shit. I hope that did it. Maybe it didn't. Ty will say, I do get out of class at 7:20 on the draft day, so if I give a warning, could we push it back maybe 5 or 10 minutes? Yeah, dude, definitely. No problem. We can definitely do that. Just let me know. In fact, I'll probably just do that now just to give you a little extra buffer. But yeah. Okay. Nice. All of our names are here. Let's fucking go, dude. Let's just make sure we count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that was it, right? Let's go. All right, hell yeah. You're like 15 minutes from your campus? Yeah, dude, hell yeah. No sweat. Yeah, we got you. We got you, dog. All right, cool. Yeah, I think this is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think there's a 12th one in there. Let me just count one more time for sanity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, cool. Let's fucking go. Ready? Let's go, dude. This is fucking... What is this, a water slide shit? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, God. Oh, God. Who's in first place? How do I toggle? Okay, first... Oh, we got Ricky Meeks. We got check the status over here. Who's in first place? We got Justice in first place. Where is Justice at? All the way down here. Zuthis is in second place. Damn, people are down here already, bro. Rasha's in first place. It's Rasha and Walt fighting it out for the top 2 right now. Oh, wait, Matty Boots is in first place now? Oh, shit, there's something going on up here? Bro, what? Dude, this is a wild fucking... What is this shit? Ricky Meeks is going down first? Oh, shit. Ricky Meeks just jumped into first place? No? Who's checked this out? Oh, shit. What is going on over here, dude? This pack over here? Dude, Walt Grizzly and Rasha dude just came in out of nowhere, bro. Oh, shit, this isn't the finish line. Oh, wow. It's anybody's game at this point, honestly. Ricky Meeks in first. Oh, shit. Ricky Meeks pulling away. Everybody's getting caught up in the fucking windmills or some shit. Okay, wow. Ricky Meeks takes it home. And then it's your boy. And then it's Big East, Texas. And then it's Rasha. Sick. Walt Grizzly is 5th. Zuthis is 6. Check the status is 7. Mr. Midnight is 8. Justice is 9. Matty Boots looks like he's coming in at 10. We got Nico Dobbs coming in at 11. And, yo, what is Misty Steppa doing up here? How is this possible, dude? How did everybody finish and Misty is still... What is going on, bro? Did she get stuck? Oh, no. I think she's stuck. Dude. Well, she got 12th pick anyways. You got the same pick, Zuthis? That's hilarious. Yeah. Should we just not give her a pick because she's not even finishing the race? Like, is it fair to give her a pick even though she didn't even finish the marble race? Everybody else had to finish. No, I'm just kidding. She'll enjoy 12th pick, I'm sure. That's hilarious. Wow, I've never seen that. Someone just getting stuck. Ricky Meeks, number 1. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this into the official draft order now. Set order. Number 1. Ricky Meeks. All right. Oops. What is this? I think I have to take everybody out. Yeah, there we go. Your phones are going to get blown up. Apologize in advance. You got like 11th last time? Nice. Okay, so... Oh, you got 11th last time too? Damn. Very unfair for Misty. Hey, I mean, this shit is RNG. I like... if it was up to me, that would not have been possible. At least nobody fell off the map. You know what I mean? Okay, so Ricky Meeks first. Then it's me. I'll take number 2. Hopefully I get Jamar Chase. Then it's Big East, Texas. Wow, the commissioner got second pick. Rigged. I know. It's rigged. Stop the count. Recount. Rasha is number 4. That's pretty good. I actually like 4th pick. Walt is number 5. I feel like that was your pick last time too, wasn't it, Walt? It's kind of funny. Don't worry, he will make a homer pick. Yeah, it'll probably be Jamar Chase. Let's be real. Zuthis is number 6. Number 7 is Check the Status. I'm so glad we got the names. It was such a nightmare without the names, man. That was fucking crazy. Mr. Midnight is number 8. Justice is number 9. Matty Boots number 10. How could I forget? It's Nico Dobbs number 11. And then wrapping it up, it's Misty Step Up pick 12. Okay. Rest in peace. All right, cool. All right, hell yeah. Well, that was fun. I want to do that for my main league. I feel like I'm going to do this for my main league, actually. I feel like that's definitely the move. Okay. Menu. How do I quit out of this? Just straight Alt F4. Okay, we're going to go back to this. All right, now we can do a mock. You were 3 last time? Okay, so a little bit of a downgrade there. Not too bad, though. How did you get pick 6 again? Bro, apparently you and, was it Nico Dobbs got pick 11th last time or some shit? Yeah. You guys got like the same picks, which is wild. All right, so let's do a quick mock with those positions. Why not? Do a little mockaroo. Let me go ahead and copy the invite link. I'm going to do 60 seconds because 30 seconds just made me so stressed out last time. Let me put this in the chat. I really don't think it matters, so you're fine. Yeah, I mean, actually, it might even be better for you because, I mean, that's not a huge difference. And frankly, getting the better pick on the back end of the second, or, you know, coming around on the turn probably is the better option. You know, that's usually why I like picking in the back of the order typically. So yeah, you went from 10 to 9. Oh, nice. Hell yeah, bro. Not too bad. A little upgrade. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, I'm dropping the chat. I'm dropping the link to the shit in the chat. Oh nice, it already picked me as my order. Let's go. Oh yeah, you're just in the middle to this? Nice. Yeah, the middle's not too bad. I'm warming up on the middle. Usually I wasn't a fan. Like like typically I don't like being like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Like that range makes me feel like, you know, kind of shitty. If I had to choose, I'd probably go like probably 5th over the 8th. But, you know, I'd want to be at the front of that. But, you know, pick 9, pick 10, pick 11, pick 12. Those are my usual favorite draft spots. You have 9, 10 in other drafts. In 12 teams? So or is it like literally 9, 10 and 10 team? That's definitely a difference for sure. Nice. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people here. I'll give it like 30 more seconds. I don't know if we have anybody else in the chat who wants to join, but I'll drop this in. Even if you're not in the league, not everybody in the league is in chat right now. So if you feel like you want to join a mock draft just for funsies, even if you're not in the league, feel free. Don't worry, the champ's in the mock. Hey, let's go. All right, I'll give it like 10 more seconds. I think we can start though. We'll give it a quick 10 seconds. Man, I can't wait for fucking real drafts, man. Oh my gosh. I think my first real draft is on the 20th. So actually on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. I hope that's not true. I would have to check that out. But okay, let's start this draft. Cool. So pick number 2, of course, the computer picks up Jamar Chase. It's almost like he knew. It's almost like the computer knew that that's what I was going for. It's fine. I'm going with Jahmyr Gibbs, who was my number one overall anyways. We were just talking about this earlier. If it was up to me, pick 1-1, I would go Gibbs. I don't think that's a crazy take, especially because new draft board is nice. You talking about this? Yeah, no. Sleeper. Oh, try the new draft board? Oh, shit. Sleeper did change the draft board. Let me do this. Cool. So now we can kind of see. Yeah, actually, you're right. I kind of like this. So it fills up the screen. Yeah. Also, it's 30 seconds, not 60, you believe? Damn, you're right. I'll make it 60. First round, nobody really needed the 60 anyways. Okay, so first round goes Chase, Gibbs, Beige, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4th pick overall. Then it's JSN to Walt Grizzly, and that's what he was kind of looking for. Then it's James Cook to Zuthis, pick 6. Then it's Puka at pick 7. Then it's Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Devon Achane, Justin Jefferson. Okay. So Justin Jefferson actually slid all the way to the 12th pick, and I agree with that. I actually agree with that, and that's probably where I would pick him up to. Then it's a run on running backs, no pun intended. Saquon goes, Kenneth Walker, Omarion Hampton, Ashton Jeanty, Chase Brown, Derrick Henry. And then it's Nico Collins, finally breaks that streak of running backs in the second round. What are we looking at here? I'm not going to have shit on the clock, bro. I'm not going to have anybody. That's also the problem with picking up this early. Man, it's such a long wait on the turn, man, coming back. That second round, bro, that second round stretch is just awful when you're in the first couple picks, man. So, Walt, okay, nice. Walt picks up Kyron. It's pretty solid. I do like the Nico Collins pick by Zuthis. I don't think there was anybody else wide receiver wise who I would have gone over him. So that's pretty solid. Rasha goes AJ Brown, which would have been my second choice if Nico wasn't there for wide receiver. So I like that. Lightning Archer's on the clock. I won't say too much about what I want to do because obviously I'm next. But I will say I'm probably going wide receiver or running back here. I don't want to pick up a quarterback or a tight end, even though that is kind of like the general, pick for people who are looking at this type of part in the draft. Like, look at the rankings. It says Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, Josh Allen. Those are the next 3 guys other than Drake London that I could go for. But no, I'm going to avoid all those guys. I'm actually going to go ahead and pick up. This sounds so crazy. I might not do this. You know what I will do? I'll go Chris Olave. We were just talking about him. I actually am not mad at his value right now. So Jeremiah Love goes, and then Drake London goes. Makes my life easy because now I don't have to pick up Jeremiah Love and deal with that whole rigmarole. I'm going to go ahead and double back with my boy T. Higgins. So I'm going back-to-back wide receivers. I knew T. Higgins was going to make it back to me. So going Chris Olave instead of T. Higgins made sense. Obviously, that would have been a reach if I did that. But still, I'm a T believer and a homer. So I had to end up with him on my team, right? Especially if I didn't get Jamar Chase. The next best thing, T. Higgins in the third. Why not? Click Moon for dark mode if you want it. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that for sure, because I am a dark mode gent. Let's get rid of all that. It just looks so much better. Damn, everyone fading Drake. Yeah, dude. I think it's literally just because of the nebulousness around the quarterback situation. Is it going to be Tua? Is it going to be Penix? It's probably going to be Tua, but then is Tua going to be viable? That offensive line is now looking questionable. So yeah. Yeah, dark mode looks so much better. It's just crazy. It's night and day. Stop. I know. I need to stop. So, okay, Trey McBride goes. Okay, Walt picked up Trey McBride. Interesting. Okay, so I think that's the first time we've seen Walt go for a tight end this early in a draft. So that's cool. I mean, obviously, you know, and we say this every time. You want to do different things in these drafts. You don't always want to do the same thing, right? Because if you're mocking the same team every time, like, there's no point. The whole goal of mock drafts is to put yourself in different scenarios, picking different players, seeing what your team looks like after you make different decisions, and if it feels good to do that, right? And so, you know, we'll see what Walt's team looks like, but I like that he's doing different things in these mocks because it actually reminds me now to break from the norm a little bit and potentially do something different, right? So Josh Allen goes pick 8 in the 3rd round. Then it's Brock Bowers to Justice. Igmeka Egbuka to team 10. Ball and Beast is picking currently. Let's see, what did Rosh go? Javonte Williams. Nice. So that's his first running back off the board. I actually like that. Breece Hall goes to Lightning Archer. We did talk about Breece Hall today a little bit, and I want to say, you know, in the 3rd round, you're getting someone who actually could be serviceable, right? As your RB2, not terrible. So I'm not mad at that pick. Bucky goes, then Josh Jacobs goes. Then it's Lamar Jackson as the 2nd quarterback off the board. That's probably because it's a bot picking, but I don't think we're going to see that in real drafts. I'm just going to say that right now. I think we'll probably see guys like maybe Drake May go over Lamar. We might even see Joe Burrow go over Lamar in real drafts. I don't know. We'll see. You would have taken Williams if Rasha didn't? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, Rasha's a savvy drafter. He's going to pick up his guys. Plus, you know, Dallas, right? We got Rasha as a Dallas Cowboys fan in the chat. But what are we looking at next? Turn this down a little bit. I feel like it's kind of loud. Okay, Teddy Mack to Walt. Oh, Zuthis goes and grabs Tyler Warren, who I was just hoping would make it back to me in the 4th round because, you know, I'm big on Tyler Warren this year. But alas, he's not there. That's fine. It is my pick. I'm on the clock. David Montgomery went right before me. Great pick. I like that. I would have probably snagged him if he wasn't there or if he was there. Now I'm going to do something different. I said I was going to do something different. And I think the different choice that I have to make is a quarterback this early, even though Drake May is pretty expensive. Like, honestly, I don't know if he's going to return on this value. I am not someone who would be willing to pick up Drake May at this draft price in typical drafts, right? But I did say I wanted to do something different. Normally, I would probably get a running back or pick up another wide receiver or something like that. But now, Trayvon Henderson went off the board. I'm in the market for a running back. We talked him up earlier. I like DeAndre Swift. I'm going to pick him up because I feel like early on in the year, he's actually going to be pretty solid until Kyle Monungai comes online. And then maybe, you know, we see a little bit of like the, you know, Tyler Algier or Zach Charbonnet of just he's vulturing all the touchdowns and all the goal line looks, right, from DeAndre Swift, which is probably going to happen. But it's not going to happen anytime soon. So I'm going to give DeAndre Swift a little bit of you know, credit that he'll be viable for like the first 5 to 6 weeks as like a RB1 caliber guy, as an RB2 that I'm getting in the 5th round, right? Hell yeah. That's why you love your keeper Drake May. Yeah, exactly, dude. I love it too. I actually have him in the 9th round in a league, and I think that's awesome. Personally, again, spending this much of a price on him or of a draft pick on him feels bad, but I understand it. I'm vulturing your picks. Oh man, sorry about that. But hey, you already got 2 running backs. I needed one, so it felt like the right pick. But fair. I know you were looking at them, or I'm sure you were. It was hard not. I couldn't resist. Drake May and HN won your league last year, dude. Hell yeah, yeah. Drake May kept me in it till the semifinals last year, and then I got knocked out because I ran into a guy who had Puka Nacua and JSN on his team. Can you believe it? Yeah, that was rough. And like somebody else, like I forget, he had like an insane team. It was honestly insane. He went on to win the championship, so it's not like I'm too mad that I lost to the future champ, but it always sucks. You know what I mean? Round 4, round 5 in the 15th round. That's you talking about Drake May. Round 4, round 5 in the 15th round. Damn. So you're getting a round 4, round 5 guy in the 15th round. Yeah, that's pretty solid. You panicked and picked up a dumb pick. Bayshaw Tootin? I wouldn't say he's dumb. I wouldn't say that's a dumb pick. People are actually high on him. Like, he could end up being solid, right? He could end up being really solid. Last year, when Achane went down, I guess I don't even know. Like, this isn't great. His point totals were not great last year. The hype is honestly insane with him. I don't quite understand it. If he made it to like the 6th or 7th round, I probably would be forced to pick him up. But, you know, I don't think you would necessarily say it's a stupid pick. But there are still guys like Chuba Hubbard, RJ Harvey, Ramondre Stevenson, Tony Pollard on the board, right? So like maybe you could have picked up one of those other guys. He's listed as a co-starter right now. Who is the other running back on that team? Is it who? Let's see. Jaguars depth chart. It is Chris Rodriguez, right? Who actually looked pretty decent in a little bit of time that he did have kind of like a quote unquote starter-ish role when he was playing for, was it San Francisco or was it the Commanders? Let's see. Game log.
A 10 out of 20 for
last year.
A 10 out of 20.
Oops.
A 10 out of.
Yeah, Washington. He was on the Commanders all 3 years. So let's see. He had 112 carries in his first year. Or sorry, no, this was actually last year. 112 carries, 500 rushing yards. So yeah, I don't know if like he's being drafted actually as RB43 off the board. You know, 3 games, fantasy viable, right? Maybe 4 if you count this game in Denver where he had 10 points, got a touchdown on 11 carries, 41 yards. You know, I really think he's just going to be a goal line vulture. And that's probably why I'm lower on Tootin, is because he's going to have to deal with this, again, a Tyler Algier, Zach Charbonnet type guy who just comes in at the goal line. Like, maybe Tootin got him there. He got like, you know, a 30-yard breakoff run, was dragged down at like the 3. And then they give Chris Rodriguez like 3 straight carries or something, or 2 at least, right? So that I could see that. I could definitely see that. I'm probably on the clock though. No, I'm not. Okay, cool. Nice. So Zuthiz actually follows up that Tootin pick with Ramondre Stevenson. So extra depth there at running back. I like that. And then Walt goes Michael Wilson. Nice. And Jadarian Price, man, I swear, I feel like you end up with Jadarian Price in literally almost every league. And I feel like if it wasn't for DeAndre Swift being right there, I probably would have gone for Price. 5th round is about where I target him. So, you know, nice. I mean, it's just something to point out that it's interesting to see that you're going after Price in almost every single mock that I've seen this far. So I like that, though. I'm high on Price, too. Did you reach for him or did his ADP climb? Oh, shit. Oh, you're saying that too, Rasha. Yeah. Maybe you should have taken Price over Judkins. I think his ADP is climbing. For sure. Yeah. And honestly, like, he's, you know, if he's looked at as an RB2, this is about where he should go anyways. So I'm not mad at picking him up in this range either. Okay, I'm on the clock. I have pretty much all the starter caliber guys I want. So now it's time to just start picking up stashers or, you know, sort of bench depth. We saw Michael Wilson go above Marvin Harrison Jr. We were talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. earlier, just looking at his ceiling games. Clearly, Mike Wilson is the guy to get out of that pass attack. But there's nothing wrong with picking up a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. as like a depth piece. But I will say I'm going to go Brian Thomas Jr. instead. Joe Burrow goes, then Metcalf goes after me or after that. So I actually could still technically pick up Marvin Harrison Jr. if I wanted to. I don't think I will. What I will do is probably go like, if Mike Evans wasn't hurt and questionable, and I'm afraid of that actually lingering a little bit, then I probably would pick him up here, but I'm going to pick up Courtland Sutton instead. So just building out depth. Yeah, and I agree with you, Justice. I think BTJ does have a good season. I think, honestly, he's like a free pick at this point for someone who you don't need to rely on, right? I've got Olave and T as my top two guys, wide receiver wise, and then I picked up Cortland Sutton as well. So it's not like I need Brian Thomas Jr. to be a guy all of a sudden, but I agree that he could easily be like, I mean, again, it was just 2 years ago where he was literally a fucking top 2 wide receiver on the year or something like that. Damn, this is a little scary to look at now. Where's his finish, bro? I'll look at the other rankings. It's a little cleaner. Oops. He finished as a wide receiver 4 in his rookie year. So yeah, I think he could easily outperform that this year, or not outperform that. Sorry, I think he could get close to that and outperform his ADP this year for sure. That's what I'm looking at. So Mike Evans goes to Rasha, and then we got Walt on the clock. Nice. We're about halfway through this draft. I'm just going to look at my team real quick. What do I need? I don't have a tight end yet, so maybe that's something I start looking at getting, potentially. You've been getting him in a lot of drafts because nobody takes him? Nice. I mean, dude, if he's sliding down to the 6th round, dude, why not? Like, straight up. He's easily someone like... There are guys every year in drafts that go around this range, 4th, 5th, 6th round, that end up being league winners. Like, let's not forget, Jackson Smith-Njigba last year was a 4th round pick. Maybe even later in some leagues, right? Maybe he was, in like half point PPR or something like that. He was probably sliding a little bit more. But honestly, JSN, clear league winner. You got him in like the 4th or 5th round. So that's the type of value you want to look for, obviously, right? If you could choose, if you could pinpoint the person who was going to be a league winner in every round, you would obviously pick them up. So it is a little bit of like, who's best guess, right? It's anybody's best guess. That said, you can kind of see the talent. You can see the path to these types of things. And Brian Thomas Jr. is in the perfect position to outperform his ADP. I can't say enough about how high I am on him, where he's going in drafts. So yeah, you can look at team's depth chart on Sleeper, by the way. Oh shit, really? Where? I think if you look at let's see, if I look at the player card. Oh, okay, cool. The depth chart. Nice. Oh, cool. I like this. They're building out the functionality a little bit, building out the visuals. I like that. And then you can click on guys. That's cool. I do want to see. Oh, it shows it right here. PPR rank. Okay, nice. So it actually does show. I just couldn't find it. Okay. I'm not going to bash on Sleeper updates. It actually looks good. They have Parker as the number 1. What the fuck? Yeah. I think that's so funny, actually. Yeah. It makes sense. I think it's purely because of his role, right? I think he will be the higher targeted player. And he's clearly being drafted above Brian Thomas Jr. Where did Parker Washington go in this draft? I want to say... Actually, what? Am I missing something? Where did he go? Not in the 5th round. 6th round, maybe? Yeah, he actually went in the 6th round, just ahead of... Okay, so a little bit ahead of Brian Thomas Jr. Like maybe 8 picks ahead of him. So yeah, that makes sense. And it makes sense to me why he would be listed as first on the depth chart too. So yeah, same round. Yeah. I think it's I wonder if Sleeper doing this based off of their official depth charts, or are they slotting this in based off of like ADP and rankings or some shit? I'd be interested to know. It probably is their official depth charts. Here, let's see. Let me look at their depth chart. I guess I wouldn't show it on this one. Where the fuck are they? because it just shows the different wide receiver positions. Official, I believe. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, maybe ESPN doesn't show like the quote unquote pecking order or whatever. They do have Parker projecting more. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, so Jordan Tyson is slipping. It makes sense that he's sliding in drafts. And also Kyle Monunga is someone I probably would have picked up here as like maybe a handcuff. I might still do that. But I did say I wanted to get a tight end, so I'll probably have to do that. And the tight end that I like, actually, Kincaid for now. I'll take Kincaid. It might have been Kittle, but I need a tight end to start right away. And Kincaid kind of gives me a little bit of peace of mind there. I probably will still get a backup tight end, or just know that like Kincaid might be inconsistent to where, I'm basically drafting him at a ceiling. I don't love this pick. I'm just doing this because I don't normally do this, and Kincaid was the only tight end that I actually liked in that range. However, I don't love it. I probably will never do this in a real league, but if Kincaid slides to maybe round 10, round 11, sure. He probably won't. So I'm going to go ahead and get Kyle Monunga because I did talk him up, and he is a handcuff to Swift, and I need that depth. So I'm going to do that. And then, I think likely we'll finish his top 6 this year. Interesting. I mean, he's in, he's in New York now, right? Yep, he's in New York on the Giants. I think they still have who's that other guy they have though? That's the one thing that's kind of scaring me about likely, and I should know who this guy is, but let's see. New York Giants, or maybe I'm thinking about someone else. Maybe I'm thinking about the Theo. Thank you. Yes, Theo Johnson. So Theo Johnson looks pretty good last year. 45 catches, 528 yards. So that's 11.7 average yards per catch, which is great for a tight end, and 5 touchdowns. So like, when he was getting worked into this offense here, let's actually just take a look at his fantasy stats. Theo Johnson. Like, there was a stretch last year where he was literally finishing as like a top 1 tight end, top 3 tight end almost each and every week. It feels like, right? Tight end 3 here, tight end 9, tight end 12, tight end 7, tight end 11. So I guess like top 10 pretty much. But I mean, that's a great stretch right here, right? Tight end 12. So tight end 1, he's essentially like a starting tight end. And that is just, we saw in Baltimore, we saw likely have good games, but it was inconsistent because there were games where it was Mark Andrews who was having the game, right? So yeah, if likely does come in here and it's his role and it's literally just like there's nobody else even remotely looked at as a tight end option, right? Like Theo Johnson is literally just like a thing of the past. He's now just a full-blown blocking tight end, right? Maybe he gets 1 or 2 looks through the air like a month or something, right? Like that's what it's going to have to probably be if we look at Isaiah Likely as a top 12 potential tight end. Theo Johnson is going to have to be completely out of the picture. That said, last year it was super rough for Isaiah Likely. I think we saw his best year 2 years ago where he finished as a top 16 tight end. And am I on the clock? Probably. No, not yet. Okay, cool. Where he finishes as a top 16 tight end. And even that was a little inconsistent, right? Here, let's look at his 2024 stats. Like, it was hard to trust him. You know what I mean? They signed him though, right? They signed him for $40 million for over 3 years, and that's clearly gonna mean that they want to utilize him. So that's fair. And it was due to Scat being hurt and Neighbors and Dart. Okay, so I want to say you're probably right, as they're probably going to use Likely as the main tight end, absolutely. But like I said, Theo Johnson is someone who could sneakily get worked in. So I'm not saying it's going to happen. Sure, maybe I'm just like off of Isaiah Likely because just I don't really like the Giants in general. I think that's also factoring into this. I'm not a believer in Jackson Dart. I'm not a true believer in like Scattaboo either, right? So not that Scattaboo has any impact on Isaiah Likely's value, but Jackson Dart definitely does. And so if Jackson Dart makes me a little nervous, then that means that Isaiah Likely and all of these guys are going to make me nervous too. Even Malik Neighbors, who should be great if he's like healthy and good to go. He should be awesome. He's a stud, but it makes me nervous. So that's what I'll say about Isaiah Likely. But for the draft price, it's hard to it's actually hard to be mad at his draft price, right? I'm gonna go Seattle defense here because I needed to pick up somebody and the clock was running out. But now that I have a little bit of time to think about it, I'm probably going to go and grab another running back. And this time I'm going to reach a little bit for a Tyler Algier. I know this sounds crazy, but I actually think he could be a nice handcuff for Jeremiah Love. If Jeremiah Love misses any time, Tyler Algier could easily be like a little nice plug and play for like the first couple weeks, right? Probably not the best pick, but I'm doing something kooky with this draft. Probably going to get like a bad draft grade when all is said and done, right? Theo's a sophomore, so they're probably going to save and see. True. All right, so we are now pretty much almost done with this draft. I know the last rounds are probably going to be pretty quick because just there's not a lot going on. But these rounds are actually where you can win your league as well. Like I say that, honestly, you could say that in any round, sure. But these back rounds, there's so much variation of whether or not a player's even going to end up on your team at the end of the year, right? Like most of these guys are probably going to get dropped at the end of the day anyways. Oh, shit, Stribling. When I said reach, that's the guy who I should have reached for. Nice grab. That's a sick snag for sure. Dallas Goedert, Jared Goff, Kenny Gainwell, Rachaad White all go in the same round. If I needed a quarterback, I probably would have grabbed Jared Goff. He's a great backup as well, but Rasha grabbed him as his starter, which I actually like a lot. Rasha's team actually has a lot of depth right now, and I think this is how I would normally draft my team. So I do like the composition for sure, and we'll talk about draft grades after like the actual draft is over. But you took Sam Darnold in the last round last year, and he probably helped you get close to the finals or the playoff the fantasy championship, right? Like, what did he do? Sam Darnold. He finished as the quarterback. It's not going to show me. Fantasy. Where's his rank? It's not going to show me? Shit. Okay. All right, now I got to go back to this. Sam Darnold finishes a quarterback 14. And so someone you're getting in the last round, it's not terrible. He was serviceable as like a very desperate backup play. But like, the inconsistencies, right, where he's getting like 5.9 points a game, 8.3, 3.1, 7.1 points a game. I mean, the fact that I can rattle off all these amounts and we're just looking at us and we're looking here like, this is a quarterback putting up these points and he still finishes the quarterback 14. Like, clearly that was due to like some heavy spike games from him potentially. And it was just wildly inconsistent, right? So, yeah. 30? 30? He's going as the quarterback 30? I might have missed that. Kenneth Walker games, maybe? Oh, true. Yeah, Kenneth Walker definitely had some... And Charbonnet, right? We can't forget Zach Charbonnet, who was like averaging like 0.89 touchdowns a game or some shit last year. Something crazy. Let's see. Let me... Okay, let's see if the draft doctor works. Is it gonna show us? Let's see. Nah, I gotta fix that. I gotta fix the draft doctor. Work has been so crazy. I haven't been able to work on my research tool that I literally have been wanting to show you guys and use in my drafts, but it's been busy. So probably will be done by the time I draft, but it will probably be too late by the time everybody else drafts. So unfortunately, but let's see. But you guys can still use it right now. Actually, here I'll drop it in the chat. It's literally free to use. Like, there's no cost if you guys actually do want to check it out. I'll drop it in the chat. All right, I'm on the clock. What do I want? I did say I would probably get a backup quarterback because Drake May makes me a little nervous. So what I will do is I'm just going to go Brock Purdy. Best available. Easy decision. Backup quarterback. Brock Purdy could have been a starter for me if I had waited on quarterback like I normally do, but that's fine. I'll take him as my backup. If anything should happen to Drake May or he doesn't pan out and is a complete bust because what we saw last year isn't the real Drake May, then, you know, maybe what we saw in the playoffs was the real Drake May where he struggled, then I have some insurance in Brock Purdy, right? But let's see. Jaden Higgins is someone who's an interesting thought. I also do like really not in love with any of these running backs. I might go Jonah Coleman, who's literally just like a late round flyer, bro. Your work draft happens Tuesday, the day before the first game. Oh shit, that's kind of cool. I actually kind of like that. I want to say there was one year where I did an office draft literally the Thursday the year started. So like the day of the first game was when we drafted it. And that felt awesome, honestly. Like when you draft the team and then there's games or I guess a game, right? The NFL starts that same day. If I could do that every year, I would. If it was up to me, I would literally draft day of every single year for my main league, at least. I don't want to do that every league because then that would obviously be impossible. But yeah, that was probably my favorite draft was the day of kickoff, season kickoff. So yeah, I think I've completely lost the plot on my draft right now. I picked up Algier in the 11th. I picked up Brock Purdy when I already have Drake May. I picked up Kincaid in the 8th. Monangai is definitely a fine pick for me. But yeah, we'll talk about this in a sec. Yeah. You and me both. I panicked and it auto drafted me. Oh, it's all good, man. Yeah. What? Who? Chris Boswell or Patrick Mahomes? Actually, nah. Patrick Mahomes isn't a bad pick, but Boz, the Boz God. How do I check my draft grade from the site? You don't check it. Oh, you linked to league. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so this is what you do. So at the end of the draft, what's going to happen is it's going to show you down here what your draft grade is, right? So I don't know why it's not disconnect. I'm just going to reconnect. Game time tie, connect. Okay. Game time league. Refresh. Oh. This is what you have to do. That's right. There's one more step. You have to enter the mock draft link, right? So the link that I sent you guys as the invite link, you're going to use that. I'll just drop it again in the chat. I'll just share it again in chat. Boom. So that's what you're going to drop in right there. Paste right there. You can watch it. And then it's going to basically in real time. There's a little bit of a delay, but it will track your picks in real time, right? So right now it's showing that pick 6 is on the clock. It's not going to show the actual team names. So in reality, pick 6 is still on the clock. Thank you. So nice. So it actually is tracking in real time. So it still works. But it's not going to show you any suggestions for defenses or kickers. I still haven't added defense or kicker rankings yet. It's only going to suggest you like wide receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks, or running backs, which is like fine for most people, right? But eventually I will want to include kickers and defenses in my rankings. But right now, if I want a balanced attack, it's suggesting me to pick up Hunter Henry or John Mechie as my picks here. I don't see the board like that. You got to put in the actual link, right? So that link I linked, you got to put that in first, and then it'll calculate it, or it'll link it or whatever. If it's not working, yeah, you see at the bottom, nice. Yeah, at the bottom of this draft board, it'll have like a submit your link or whatever. And then you drop that in, it should connect. And if it doesn't, then I got some work to do, but let me know. It should connect. Okay, cool. What's the next pick? Rasha's on the clock. We got 2 more picks left. Let's see. Do I already have? Okay, I already have a defense. I may need a backup tight end, but I'm looking pretty wide receiver light for my own liking. So I'm probably going to pick up a wide receiver with this next pick. Yeah, because this is my roster right now. I've got 4 wide receivers. They're all in my starting lineup as my flexes. Let's see. Are there any like... Yeah, I said Jalen McMillan. There is a guy I like there too, Cyrus Allen. If I hadn't picked up Jalen McMillan, I probably would have picked up Cyrus, but I do like Jalen McMillan at the back of a draft because, again, if all hell breaks loose with the turf toe situation with Igbuka, Jalen McMillan is going to be a sneaky value at this 14th overall or 14th round pick. So, okay, now I got to go for a kicker because, fuck it. Evan McFearless. Let's go. All right. Okay, let me try to predict what my what my tool is going to draft grade me. I'm going to say it's going to give me a B- because it's going to say I reached on like Algier and like I didn't need to pick Purdy or something like that, and like Coleman was like a worthless pick or some shit like that. It's probably going to tell me some weird shit like that. Let's see. Kamani Vidal actually would have been maybe like an insurance pick or some shit, but you'll get a C. Zuda said that. Oh, you think you're going to get a B, Justice? Nice. I mean, yeah, a B is fair. A B is honest. If you're getting anything around B, B-, like I think you should feel happy with your draft. And draft grades aren't everything. Like how you could have the perfect draft on paper, and then all of a sudden somebody gets hurt, or a team changes the way they operate, offensively, or something happens with a running back, in the backfield, and then all of a sudden like this one guy is now the starter or some shit. So many different things can happen. And even the Brian Thomas Jr. last year is inexplicable, right? He's like a 2nd round pick or some shit. He all of a sudden finishes as like a 40, top 40 wide receiver. It's awful. Someone tell me what you got. You can't listen right now. That's okay. Let's take a look. Okay, so draft is complete. And it actually is showing the grades immediately, which is kind of cool. Convert league? Nah. That'll be funny. Yeah, that was our real draft, guys. Psych. This is for real. Yeah, so I got a B-. So not too bad. Not too bad. Let's see. Where was your pick, Nico? Or check the status. Check the status was pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you were pick 7. Yeah, pick 7 overall. So let's see what your draft grade was. 7 slot, B-. Okay, so slot 9 got an A. That was the highest draft grade. Who was slot 9? Justice. Nice, dude. You did say that you were going to crush this draft, and sure enough, you did it. So let's take a look from the top. Christian McCaffrey, Ashton Genty. So back-to-back running backs. I don't hate it. I think I don't love that you got Brock Bowers in the 3rd pick overall, or your 3rd pick in the 3rd round. But then Zay Flowers and Jalen Waddle are your 2 wide receivers off the board. Those are your first wide receivers, so those are your starting wide receivers. I do like the Chris Godwin pick, so at least maybe if like Jalen Waddle doesn't pan out, Chris Godwin can start for you. Then you got Romeo Doubs and Alec Pierce. When Alec Pierce gets healthy, he should be okay. Trevor Lawrence is your tight end, or sorry, your quarterback. So that actually not bad, and that was your only quarterback. So you were able to get some extra depth somewhere, and yeah, not bad. Jerry Jeudy, you got a steal on Hunter Henry down here. I think he actually could easily outperform that ADP. So yeah, not terrible, not terrible. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Justice. I see you, bro. You got an A. You got an A. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. So let's see. What was the next highest draft grade? I'm just gonna go down through the draft order. Okay, so the next one was slot 11. Is that anybody we know? Slot 11. Ball and Beast. Oh man. Okay, so it seems like it's favoring the running backs first, right? So again, 2 running backs, Achane, Walker, first 2 picks. Then it's Rashi, then it's Josh Jacobs, then it's Roma Dunze, Parker Washington, J.K. Dobbins. So a ton of depth here. You didn't even get a quarterback until round 14. That's crazy. So like, clearly the depth is there, right? You got Kelsey, but then you backed him up with Strange if for whatever reason Kelsey doesn't pan out. And then, you know, like you took a flyer on Casey Concepcion. Josh Downs is there too, who, like, you know, I'm a little off on, but that's fine. I mean, damn, that's a second highest draft grade right there, y'all. Let's see. Do I agree with that? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'd give it like a B plus instead of an A minus, because, you know, even if Tyler Shuck hits his ceiling, I don't know if he's going to be just like a top 5 quarterback or anything like that. I'd say his ceiling is like top 10, right? Okay, you're the 3rd highest. All right, let's go. Let's check it out now. Let's check it out next. Okay, slot 7. We got Zuthis in the house. Oh wait, are you sure you're top 3? Tool is broken. Yeah, I gotta do some tweaking, guys. This is not okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not, like, it's giving me a fucking B minus. Nah, that's not cool, man. What draft grade did you get? Zuthis, I want to say you got a B minus. Okay, so you actually 7th overall, seventh highest projected, right? Yeah, check the status. Technically got the B, so not bad. Wait, you got 12th? What do you mean you got C minus? Are you sure about that? No, that was Walt, dude. Walt had 5th. Yeah, Walt got 12th. Oh, Walt got 12th. I thought you meant, wait, I got 12th. No, yeah, Walt did get 12th. Which is crazy. But let's actually take a look at Walt's team real quick, because I don't agree with that, to be honest. Like, I actually think Walt's team, so this now informs me of the adjustments that I'm going to have to do, because I do have to make some tweaks to this tool. I mean, it's not perfect, right? It's still a work in progress, but this does show me kind of what I have to do, because, you know, Walt's team is a team that I really do like. I don't think I would, if it was up to me, I wouldn't give him a C minus, right? So slot 5, that is Jackson Smith-Njigba, Kyron Williams, Trey McBride, Teddy Mack, Jadarian Price, Michael Wilson, Dak Prescott, who I think is an awesome pick in that range, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Jonathan Brooks. The fact that you got both those guys who could easily be like, let's say, top 20 running backs by the end of the year when all is said and done, I love that, right? You're getting them in round 8, round 9, respectively. Khalil Shakir, I think, you know, probably not great. But then Deshaun Stribling, again, awesome pick. Tyjae Spears could be a sneaky plug and play. CJ Stroud as your backup, not terrible. And then Minnesota Vikings, Eddie Pinheiro. So, like, I don't know if I would give this a C minus, right? I love that check just said, screw it, we ball. Yeah, my team is not afraid of injuries, but injuries are afraid of my players. Let's see where. Let's actually check the status of his team. Puka, Derrick Henry, Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterfoot, Terry McLaurin, Laporta, Caleb Williams. So, like, all of these guys definitely have, let's just say, some injury, but like at least a couple of these guys, right? Like Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterfoot, both guys coming off of injuries, a little questionable. Terry McLaurin is someone who we've known can miss time. Yeah, I think he missed time as recent as last year. Puka Nacua, you know, will miss time for sure. I don't know if it's due to injury this year, but he's at least going to miss some time due to suspension. And then Derrick Henry, I don't know if that guy's ever missed time due to injury, but, you know, last year he had a little bit of a slow start. And then Michael Pittman isn't practicing right now. We'll see if that continues next week. So yeah, I mean, you know, you have guys that potentially will get hurt. One more, man. I don't think I can, to be honest. Like, we are already 3 hours into the stream. I would love to do one more, but that would probably be pushing it. It would probably take me like over an hour longer, and I gotta go eat some food. I gotta go, you know, sit on the couch and relax. I literally finished work and then came right on stream. This is my happy place, like I said. but I do have to actually get some real R&R, you know? So I will say, unfortunately, probably not another mock right now, but on Friday, I'm definitely going to do more than one mock. We'll do 2 mocks on Friday for sure. I'll start the mock drafts earlier in the stream for sure, right? Hell yeah. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all too, Zuthas. You always enjoy the streams, man. I always enjoy having y'all here. And whether it's mock draft, whether we're just shooting the shit, and actually, Zuthas, thank you for reminding me, bro. I saw that chat. Don't think I didn't see it about a couple weeks ago where you said we should do a stream where we just like shoot the shit and have fun. And you know what? I heard you. So we're going to do that one of these days. For sure, right? So I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week or whenever, but we're going to do a stream where it's just a casual stream. Maybe we talk a little bit about fantasy football, but then we probably just like go into like memes or some shit, just watch some like do some reacts or some stuff like that. You know, I don't do a lot of react content, but that could be fun. So, I mean, Zuthas asked for it. We might do that. I definitely want to do that at least one time. See how that goes. And then maybe we game a little bit or something afterwards. I do have to game. I've been meaning to like pick up Madden 27. I want to see if that's worth playing on stream potentially. And then, you know, I play Fortnite every now and then. I can maybe get some Fortnite going on stream as well. But yeah, we'll have okay, you're going to have a great draft strategy on Friday. Uh-oh. Are we going to see 15 kickers off the board? Are we going to see kickers go? What are we going to see? All defenses? Shit. I like, you know what? The all quarterback was actually a lot of fun. I will, that's unforgettable. I will never forget that. Again, if that happened in a real draft, I might quit that league, but yeah. So we'll see. But nice. I think we'll call it here, guys. Honestly, I'm running out of steam. I don't know what else to say. I would give everybody a draft grade, but you know, my tool did that for y'all. We'll just look at it again real quick. And I want to figure out a way for it to pull the team names too. I have to figure that out because having it just say slot 1, slot 2, that's tough. So, yeah. Well, wait, I have an idea as well. Oh shit, what's the idea? Oh, you have a draft idea? Nice. Okay, well, I'm excited to see what that is, for sure. So yeah. All right, we'll call it. But hey, now you guys have the tool. Please mess around with it. Do whatever you know, like break it if you can, right? Like I want to stress test it, right? Like there's a player comparison tool where you compare players. It has, you know, their aura, right? So you can kind of see their value, their ADP, what the juice, you know, their juice, right? Their durability. It has some news. You can click on the news to go see the actual articles, right? It's compiling all this stuff. And then you can kind of see like a pace calculator, right? If say there's a player, let's just say Justin Jefferson. There's a stretch where Justin Jefferson actually had like a decent stretch. If we want to go from weeks 1 to week 9 and see what he would have been on pace for, he would have been on pace to finish as the wide receiver 7 with 15.5 points per game, right? So I don't know. I mean, this is just, I'm trying to make it better. So I'm happy to take any suggestions. No idea is a bad idea. I've got all sorts of crazy stats in here. So if you want to see other stats in here that aren't shown, hit me up. Let me know. But Chase or AJ Brown? You mean Chase Brown? I probably would pick up Chase Brown over AJ Brown for sure. Lots of fun as always. Yeah. Hey, would you take St. Brown over JT? Yes, I would. Yeah, Amon-Ra, St. Brown over JT. 100% Rasha. Definitely I would. Zuthis and I are going to break the draft. All right. Challenge accepted. I'm sure. Check the status. That's hilarious. But yes, I would pick up Amon-Ra St. Brown over JT for sure. And AJ Brown for sure. Oh, you mean AJ Brown over Chase? Oh, sorry. No, never mind. This was responding to you. Okay. Yeah. I got it. Yeah, lots of fun as always. Hey, thank you, Rasha. Appreciate the input. And we'll probably get you on the call on Friday, right? I'm sure we'll get you on, which is our usual Friday. So anyways, enjoy the tool, guys. Let me know if you can, if you have any suggestions for any improvements. But until then, dude, until Friday, I'll see y'all later. Awesome draft. Great job getting the A justice. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. Take it easy. Peace.